PCGconsultinginc.com. Call Bill Gritzonis at 312-263-4599 or visit PCGconsultinginc.com.
Building owners and managers. When it comes to maintaining the value of your commercial, industrial, or institutional building, there will be roof repairs or replacements for you to deal with. When you're looking for a good roofing contractor, search the ChicagoRoofing.org website for Chicagoland's best roofing contractors for repairs, replacements, or new construction. And you can check out their innovative roofing work also. All contractors at ChicagoRoofing.org proudly employ members of Roofers Union Local 11 who have undergone 5 years of rigorous training at the country's leading school for roofing, the Chicagoland Roofers Joint Apprenticeship Training Center. ChicagoRoofing.org contractors are at the top of their game and provide Chicagoland's best value for the best roofs all year long. Building owners and managers, you will have roof repairs or replacements to deal with. It's inevitable. Go to ChicagoRoofing.org. That's ChicagoRoofing.org.
5:11. Let's get an update on those morning roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. On this Monday, we welcome in Jim Talamonte. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning, Mike. On this holiday, traffic volume is lighter than usual, but the snow continues to fall, so it's making for some issues. 8094 westbound at Central Avenue. There's a crash. 2 lanes are blocked there, the left and the right lane. Outbound Ryan for the Skyway. There's a stall. There was a crash on the Adams Tollway eastbound past 25. That one just cleared. In West Chicago, there's a collision. Fabian Parkway at Technology Drive. The Chicago expressways are in pretty good shape, but again, with the snow still falling, making for some slick spots. There's a delay on Metra's Union Pacific North Line due to switch problems. The train due downtown at 5:23 is running about 20 minutes late. The South Shore Line has buses running Carroll Avenue in Michigan City and Ogden Dunes. Overhead wire issues. Traffic is a service of Indeed.com. Indeed, used by over 3 million businesses for hiring. Business owners and HR professionals can post job openings with screener questions, then sort, review, and communicate with candidates from an online dashboard. Learn more at Indeed.com/hire. Traffic answers when you need them most. Jim Talamonte, an AM 560, The Answer.
Jim, thank you. Chicago's Morning Answers starts next, your official Chicagoland weather forecast, with our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
A winter weather advisory in effect until noon today. Cold with a thick cloud cover and a bit of snow, accumulating up to an additional inch. Untreated surfaces will be slippery. High today 27. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
So right now, about 2.3 inches in Batavia, 2.8 inches of snow in Schaumburg, nearly 6 inches of snow from a train spotter in LaSalle. 19 at O'Hare, officially with snow showers. Your next news update at 5:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy starts now on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is powered by CharlesEquipment.com, keeping the lights on through the cold and storms of winter.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. If you're off for Martin Luther King Day, you missed the opportunity to have a nice little commute to work.
I mean,
It was a great drive.
There's no lane dividers. Just you have no idea what lane you're in. But again, my whole point is, why do we pay tolls if no one bothers to plow? On the Jane Addams and on the Kennedy too. I mean, we pay taxes for that, but you actually pay a toll to use a toll road, and nobody cares.
Yeah,
everybody was a little hungover from the Vikings.
You also pay taxes for an Illinois Department of Transportation, but that's neither here nor there.
I didn't see one snowplow.
No, I saw salt trucks, but I didn't see a lot of plowing other than what I was doing with my grill.
How many people did you knock off on the way to work today?
Yeah, it's not an enjoyable commute coming up from the city.
Yeah. You can only go 40 at the most, but how fast did you go? 50, 60?
I went at appropriate speed for the safety of myself and those around me. So there was that, Martin Luther King Course Day, and we're going to get to some remembrances of Martin Luther King, as well as do a bit of a status check on where you think the state of race relations is as we are 3 months from the 50th anniversary of his assassination this year. But first, we had that Vikings game yesterday, and I can tell you were excited based on the
My
hat
hat.
you're wearing today.
Yeah, it's a Vikings hat. I don't know. I mean, I grew up, my cousins, of course, half my family lives in Minnesota. So we've always cheered for the Bears and the Vikings and
Well, it's
the
been a tough.
Lions a little bit, too.
It's been a tough year for Minnesota. Tough
yeah.
season. This season they lost Al Franken, they lost Garrison Keeler. So it was nice for the Vikings to give a moment to the Minnesotans. Okay, then.
Steps into it. Pass is caught. Diggs! Sideline! Touchdown! Unbelievable! Vikings win it!
That
I mean-
deserves an oh my and a whoa Nelly.
Oh, I know. Too soon, yeah, because Keith Jackson passed away, and I think we'll talk about him also because he was one of the best. But that game last night, I thought I had a heart attack. You know the rookie from the Saints who missed the tackle? He said he was going for his legs, not the body of Diggs.
Yeah.
And Diggs thanked God afterwards, and I love when athletes are humble and appreciate a higher calling.
Since I first got here, I never stopped working. Today was when all the work paid off, and God put me in a position, and I just try to take advantage of my opportunity.
You can't hear him, but if you saw him,
Does that
he was
theme
crying.
music follow him around?
Yeah, it does, wherever he goes.
Case Keenum, of course, the Vikings quarterback, tweeted about the game-winning touchdown. Third best moment of his life.
Oh, yeah.
Number one, gave life to Jesus Christ. Number two, married his wife. Number three, lacked second game-winning touchdown, sending the Vikings to the NFC Championship game.
So excited.
I would have put, I don't want to quibble with Case Keenum. They're his moments. But I would have put passing Timmy Chang for most passing yards in NCAA history when he was at the University of Houston in the second slot.
Oh, and just bump the wife.
I'm just, that's me.
Honey,
That's my
I've got-
perspective.
Honey, you've been moved.
Fourth. What's
no.
wrong with fourth?
Well, if you ain't first, you're last. So, I mean, she's coming in second. No, that's good that he praised God first. And now they play Philadelphia they play the Eagles at Philadelphia. But if they win that game, I mean, my God, they're going to have a Super Bowl in their hometown. That has never happened, ever. So, I was in Minnesota this summer, and they are so pumped that they're having the Super Bowl there.
If only Fran Tarkenton was alive. Oh, he is alive to see
He's
this.
alive.
Oh, good.
It's not like Keith Jackson.
Yeah.
You don't remember Keith Jackson?
Yeah.
Oh, Nelly came from my great-grandpa. He was a farmer. He was a whistler, one of these guys. He was always working and always busy, and but he really didn't whistle. He just kind of one of those, And then he would do something or drop something or whatever, and oftentimes you'd hear him say, "Whoa, Nelly! Whoa, Nelly!" That kind of stuff, and it's kind of stuck to the little scruffy kid following him around, and.
And that's how Whoa Nelly came to be.
Well, Jackson had a great voice for an announcer, but he also was very colorful with the lingo.
As it is called the Cinderella story. Well, we've had all the romance. Now let's find out if she can dance. This is The Weekend with Whiskers. And a big ugly from the pits of anonymity. Galloway, touchdown Buckeyes. Whoa, Nelly.
There it is.
It's like a hot, steaming cup of information to start your day. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Recently, Dick Enberg passed away, and his was, oh, my. That was his catchphrase.
And that was the worst impersonation of it I've ever heard. The accent on the wrong syllable.
Okay, well, the
There.
syllable, how would you like? Oh, my. No, that's even worse.
Please.
Oh, my. Martin, touchdown. Oh, my.
Yeah.
Well, oh, my, out on the roadways. Definitely two hands on the wheel, and you are going to have to drive slowly. We're going to have anywhere from 2 to 4 inches today before it's all said and done, a high of 27 degrees. Then tonight, a couple of new snow showers. Storm totals 2 to 4 inches, so we're going to have to go through this again tomorrow, unless people get their act together and start plowing. And a high tomorrow of just 24 degrees. And then later on in the week, we will warm up. Now let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. A very busy man today. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Good morning, Amy. Good morning, Dan. Well, Michigan Avenue is in good shape. Downtown Chicago, the heart of the loop, looks pretty good. But the farther you get from there, the worse the conditions are. In fact, on southbound and northbound I-55, in the area between 47 and 53, it's really slow going due to the snow, which is building up on the roadway and, of course, continues to fall. The western suburbs was crash in Warrenville on Winfield Road at Ferry. On 8094 westbound at Central Avenue, the right lane is reopened after a crash. Left one's still closed, though. And speeds are reduced throughout the area. Traffic volume is pretty light. It's just a matter of getting through the snow. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Restaurants come and go. Very few last. When you find a restaurant that served margaritas, fun, and fantastic food for over 2 decades, you can bet it's great.
That's the one-of-a-kind landmark Cafe Salsa Mexican Grill and Tequila Bar in Countryside. Cafe Salsa offers daily lunch specials, happy hour in the bar, half-price house margaritas on Wednesdays, and on Monday and Tuesday, 2 for $22 dinner specials. Ready to eat? Try Mexican-inspired influences on traditional fare, like Cafe Salsa's margarita salmon, honey chipotle glazed pork chops, and amazing carne asada with mushroom salsa. Plus, fajitas, a fantastic selection of quesadillas, many flavorful steak and chicken dishes, and shrimp tacos, hot off the wood-fired grill. Cafe Salsa's dining room is perfect for birthdays and family get-togethers. Check out their complete menu at cafesalsa.com or call 708-352-5100.
Make your plans for lunch or dinner today at Cafe Salsa, 55th Street and LaGrange Road in Countryside, cafesalsa.com.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Attention, the soda tax is dead. Hello, this is Cook County Commissioner Sean M. Morrison. Congratulations. Effective December 1st of 2017, the Cook County sweetened beverage tax is dead. Your stand against this bad tax won the day. I fought hard against President Preckwinkle's soda pop tax from the beginning, but sadly it passed. But I refuse to give in to the constant taxing from our working families' pockets only to feed big government. So I led the Can the Tax campaign, and I sponsored the repeal ordinance to vote out the soda tax. Desperate, President Preckwinkle brought in New York billionaire Michael Bloomberg, and he spent $13 million in vain trying to keep her pop tax alive. But Cook County residents said enough and demanded their commissioner support my soda tax repeal. As for me, well, both Michael Bloomberg and President Preckwinkle have vowed to knock me out of office. But that decision will be up to you and not them. Again, this is Sean M. Morrison, your Cook County Commissioner. Thank you for your support. And don't forget, ding dong, the tax is dead.
St. John's Northwestern Military Academy has been an all-male military school since 1884, but is going co-ed beginning summer 2018. Their midterm registration is January 21st, and you're invited to attend an upcoming St. John's open house. Consider St. John's Northwestern Military Academy for your son or daughter's middle and high school education in the beautiful Lake Country region of southwest Wisconsin. Your child will receive outstanding academics, superb athletics, leadership opportunities, a chance to live and learn with students from around the world, and most importantly, a safe and structured environment where each student can achieve at his or her full potential. To learn more about how a St. John's Northwestern Military Academy education can give your child the advantage he or she deserves, don't miss an upcoming St. John's open house. For open house dates and more information, call 1-800-SJ-CADET. That's 1-800-SJ-CADET. Or visit their website, sjnma.org. That's sjnma.org.
AM 560, The Answer.
Let it snow and snow.
Yeah, it's just lovely outside. It's that romantic if you're on the roadways.
It's not death-defying or anything.
You understand the irony. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. You buy the false alarm in Hawaii?
Ooh.
Do you buy the official story of ballistic missiles heading for Honolulu? Hold? No, wait. False alarm.
It was during a shift change, and they were testing the system. And apparently, by the way, you have to press the button twice, not once. So they came clean. He said that, the guy pressed the wrong button. Here's Vern Miyagi. Yes, I butchered his last name. Who was with emergency management saying it's my fault.
It's my responsibility, so this would be my fault. The whole purpose of this is that the change of shift briefing is for each shift to understand what is the process. We will take action to prevent this from ever happening again by having more than one person there to do this, make this decision, or work on equipment changes.
Yeah. So they'll have 2 people in charge instead of 1. But did you see the video? It is heartbreaking. People ran out of their cars. They abandoned their cars on the highways. One guy took his family and went underneath a manhole cover. And other people, I mean, they called and said their last goodbyes to loved ones.
Here, Governor, do we have Hawaii Governor Ige on the topic here? I don't see it.
I have Ige. Yeah, right here. You see it right there? Yeah.
Let's hear from the governor.
Here's the gov.
Early this morning, an error was made and a false alarm was sent to cell phones and to TV and radio. We investigated, and as soon as we became aware that it was an error, we took action to send the notification that it was a false alarm. This should not have happened. We are investigating the sequence of events that occurred. An error was made in emergency management, which allowed this false alarm to be sent.
Yeah. And it took 38 minutes to correct?
Because they didn't have a system in place, Dan, to issue that it was a false alarm. So they have to work on that, too.
Well, no, the official story was they had to get approval from some other FEMA office giving them permission to issue a correction. Well, how does that take 38 minutes? They, we just sent out the old ballistic missile attack alert. We got a call into FEMA. We're waiting for the high sign to issue a correction because we know it's false. So, smoke them if you got them. We'll wait to hear from FEMA. Then we'll get around to that.
But here's the thing. I mean, this could be a blessing in disguise because there are not a lot of bunkers available for people. And a lot of Chicagoans who are vacationing in Hawaii, BBM Radio interviewed a woman who she's got a 3-year-old and a 4-year-old kid. And she's like, I didn't know where to go. I'm prepared for tornadoes here. I understand about earthquakes. But when you have that warning system coming through on your cell phone, where do you go? I mean, that's the thing. You're in a resort. Where does everybody go?
Go to the water.
Go to the water.
Right. It's that's not a that's not a valued target. So if there was a ballistic missile attack,
get on a little boat.
Well, it depends on how much time you have. But I
maybe you can get a boogie board.
I would go to the beach.
Oh, that's
and if you're going to be annihilated, at least enjoy the view before
survival
the
tips
missiles hit.
with Dan Proft.
Yeah, that's what I would do. I mean, it's just.
I shouldn't laugh, but that broke my heart when I saw that video.
It's like
so scary.
It's like a couple of guys are by the water cooler talking. Somebody actually leans back and hits the button.
Whoa!
I mean, come on.
But you had to press it twice too. That's what's so strange.
This is like a Simpsons episode. That's why I there's something else here. That's I wonder. I know you had the fall guy there taking responsibility for accidentally pressing a button twice. Mm-hmm. That's how I accidentally stabbed somebody 7 times. I mean,
stabby.
I'm not sure. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm just saying I'm not sure the official story clears up this matter, particularly the time between the false alert being issued and people putting their kids in storm drains. And then it being corrected.
Yeah, and the thing is too. I mean, if this happens again, and if it's real, are people going to believe it?
The civil defense
the Congresswoman
that cried wolf. Yeah.
What makes me angry is, yes, that this false alarm went out, and we have to fix that in Hawaii. But really, we've got to get to the underlying issue here of why are the people of Hawaii in this country facing a nuclear threat coming from North Korea today, and what is this president doing urgently to eliminate that threat?
Yeah, okay, right. Yeah, what is the president doing to eliminate the butt dial over at Hawaiian Emergency Management Association, as according to their story? Okay. All right, Tulsi. Ed in Oak Brook, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, you know what? That's a very scary situation, and if you see many movies about that, it is horrible. But what's even worse is the liberals condemning Trump like it's his fault. And what this basically does is send a signal to the world that, you know what, like that little creep in North Korea can probably say and do whatever he wants, and the liberals will probably support that little creep. So, you know what, if this country would stand behind its president, maybe he can get something done with North Korea. But this division, Sean Penn and all those other jerks, you know what, it's only going to undermine the president. Have a nice day.
Thanks for the call, Ed.
What does Sean Penn have to do with anything?
Moscow in flames, missiles headed toward New York. Film at 11.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
President Trump and more of the S-hole fallout at 5:38.
But first, let's go into the newsroom. Say good Monday morning. Happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day to Mike Scott.
Amy and Dan, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Now 18 degrees, heavy snow showers. Drivers being careful to work, I'm sure. Around Chicagoland, as the National Weather Service says, some spots could see up to 5 inches of snow falling, and a winter weather advisory is in effect until noon. President Trump is accusing Democrats of not wanting to make a deal on DACA. Trump telling reporters yesterday Republicans are ready, willing, and able to make that deal on the program protecting some immigrants who were brought to the U.S. illegally as children.
We are ready, willing, and able to make a deal, but they don't want to. They don't want security at the border. We have people pouring in. They don't want security at the border. They don't want to stop drugs. And they want to take money away from our military, which we cannot do.
He said Democrats don't want to deal at all right now. House committee investigating alleged Russian interference in last year's election is calling former Trump campaign manager Corey Lewandowski to testify. Lewandowski saying he's happy to testify. Pope Francis is on his way to Latin America, leaving the Vatican today on a 7-day visit to Chile and Peru. Dozens are injured after a mezzanine overlooking the main lobby of the Indonesian stock exchange collapsed. Police say at least 77 are hurt badly. At least 20 are now confirmed dead. In the Southern California mudslides, the list of missing in Santa Barbara County is now down to 4. Everyone on board a casino boat in Florida is back on shore after a fire broke out on the ship. At least 50 were rescued from the Sun Cruise casino boat when flames engulfed the ship near Tampa today. 15 were hurt. Health officials are issuing a warning about anyone who may have, about a person who may have exposed many other travelers to the measles at O'Hare last week. The Illinois Department of Public Health says that passenger infected with the contagious disease arrived on Wednesday between 6:30 and 1 p.m. on an international flight at Terminal 5 and then departed on a domestic flight from Terminal 1. Governor Bruce Rauner spending his Martin Luther King holiday remembering the man who helped change how this country sees race. The governor, however, is not expected to speak to any reporters at his stops today. Celebrating the life of legendary American auto racer Dan Gurney, who passed away over the weekend. The 86-year-old died Sunday at his home in Southern California. Gurney was the first driver ever to win races in Formula One, NASCAR, and IndyCar. Bulls welcome the red-hot Heat to the UC this afternoon. Red Wings shut out the Blackhawks 4-0. Fighting Illini go for their first Big Ten win tonight at Nebraska. The news, a service of La Quinta Inns and Suites. How do business travelers win on the road? By staying at La Quinta Inns and Suites. Relax with contemporary lobby makeovers and stylish room designs. Prepare to win at business. Book now at lq.com. 5:33 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher wants to bring you a different kind of show.
There are plenty of hosts. There are plenty of writers. There are plenty of pundits. There are plenty of congressmen. There are plenty of people who criticize Donald Trump every minute of every hour of every day, and I don't do that on this show. I want you to come here and have a different experience.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Progressive Insurance, with the Name Your Price tool, offering a range of coverage and price options to choose from. Now that's Progressive. More at Progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE.
Hey guys, Ken here from the hit podcast Today's Growth. Who would win a 3-mile bicycle race, an 11-year-old girl or last year's winner of the Tour de France? It all depends on the bicycle. It depends on their vehicle. Both on a 10-speed and the pro racer is going to win every time. But put the racer on a tricycle and the 11-year-old wins every time. You see, it's not the driver, it's the vehicle. When it comes to generating revenue, it's exactly the same. If you have a job or a small business, you are riding a tricycle. You can only go so fast. If you need to make up lost ground, it's not going to happen on a tricycle. No matter how fast you pedal, it's simply not going to win the race. Why do many people with no schooling and no advanced degree often become very wealthy? Simple. They choose to only ride 10 speeds. When it comes to helping people create their next revenue model, both Forbes and Inc. recommend Income Store as a can't miss when it comes to putting people on a 10-speed. Could your household or business use an additional revenue model that doesn't solely depend on you? If so, you need to check out IncomeStore.com. That's IncomeStore.com.
Don't forget that you can watch Chicago's Morning Answer on the Income Store live video stream every morning at 560theanswer.com.
5:35 and a check of the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. On the CTA Red Line, Howard-bound trains are stopped at 35th. This is due to police activity. The snow is slowing travel on the roadways, especially I-55, where it's really built up. In the area between 47 and 53, the traffic's very heavy and speeds are severely reduced. They're reduced pretty much throughout the area. 8094 westbound is crashed at Central Avenue. Latest on this one is 2 left lanes are blocked. Traffic there is pretty light, though. There's no significant backup yet. If this doesn't clear shortly, there will be. Bourneville, there's a collision. Winfield Road at Ferry. And speeds are reduced throughout the region. Traffic at the service of Indeed.com. Indeed, used by over 3 million businesses for hiring. Business owners and HR professionals can post job openings with screener questions, then sort, review, and communicate with candidates from an online dashboard. Learn more at Indeed.com/hire. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Cold day ahead, bit of snow. Untreated surfaces will be slippery today, and ride to work will be slower than usual, high 24. Snow showers continue into the overnight, a low of 10. Currently, we have 19 at O'Hare and 20 along Chicago's lakefront. Your next news update is at 6. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Advanced Planning Advisors, bringing you Smart Money Talk with Mike Moylan and Rob Curvin, Saturday mornings at 6.
If you're talking about it, I'll be talking about it. Dennis Prager here. Join me this morning at 11, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. What everybody was talking about on the Sunday talkies was, of course, President Trump's alleged asshole comment, which is now the subject of some dispute.
Yeah, I mean, Republicans are split on whether or not he used an expletive. And I just don't understand how some could hear something and others hear nothing at all.
It's unclear to me, but David Perdue, senator from Georgia, was on with Clinton Foundation Donor Zero on Sunday, and they went round and round on the topic of what Trump said or didn't say.
In the Senate, how do you respond to what we just heard from Congressman Lewis, that he believes President Trump is a racist?
Well, of course, I think that's ridiculous. I grew up in the South. I fully understand what that means.
So first, if he said what he said, is he a racist? And Perdue saying no, Lewis saying yes. Mia Love also saying so on Jake Tapper's State of the Union.
Were the comments racist, do you think?
Well, I think they were, yes. I think that they were unfortunate. I don't know if they were taken. I wasn't in the room. I know the comments were made. I don't know which context they were made. I'm looking forward to finding out what happened, but more importantly, I'm looking forward to trying to fix the problem. I think we have to hold ourselves to a higher standard.
Well, someone that was in the room, Senator Cotton, he claims he didn't hear a thing.
I didn't hear that word either. I certainly didn't hear what Senator Durbin has said repeatedly.
So you're saying in that room you didn't hear any of this sort of lumping everybody together. Is that what you're saying?
I did not hear derogatory comments about individuals or persons, no.
Okay, so this sentiment is totally phony as well, that is attributed to him.
Yes.
It's very specific denial. I didn't hear derogatory comments or sentiments about individuals.
Yeah, but Dick Durbin said he...
That's a matter of how Cotton may have interpreted that he was referring to the country, meaning the government, not the people
in the country
who are citizens of that country. And that's sort of what David Perdue started with before he issued the flat denial. David Perdue, Georgia senator, talking about, kind of woefully mischaracterized was Durbin's contention about what the president said.
The gross misrepresentation was that language was used in there that was not used, and also that the tone of that meeting was not contributory and not constructive. In 2013, Senator Durbin also made the same accusation against a Republican leader in a meeting with President Obama and said that it was he chewed out the president. It was so disrespectful to President Obama, we couldn't even have the meeting. That's what he said in 2013. Later that day, the president's own press secretary came out and said, and I quote, "It did not happen." This is about a gross misrepresentation. It's not the first time.
Well, I concede his point about the duplicity of one Durbin bag. There's no question about that.
Dick Durbin was shaking. He was emotional. He was out of his mind when he heard when he was listening to those words allegedly come from President Trump.
And that's when he used those sickening, heartbreaking remarks, saying, "Those holes send us the people that they don't want." He repeated that. He didn't just say it one time. He said, "Put me down for wanting more Europeans to come to this country. Why don't we get more people from Norway?" That was exactly what the president said.
David Perdue went round and round with Stephanopoulos on this topic, pressed on the matter. Did he say asshole?
But you're saying flat out, definitively, the president did not say those words.
I'm saying that this is a gross misrepresentation. It's not the first time Senator Durbin has done it, and it is not productive to solving the problem.
So what did the president say?
All right, one more time, ask the question, see if we can get an answer specifically on point. Here's the third try.
Are you saying the president did not use the word that has been so widely reported?
I'm telling you he did not use that word, George, and I'm telling you it's a gross misrepresentation. How many times do you want me to say that?
All right, you didn't use the word, and it's a gross misrepresentation.
Folks, I say look no further than Lindsey Graham, his golfing buddy, the person first to always jump and praise President Trump when he does something right. He said that he has made his peace with it, and that was it. He was in the room because people asked him. There's 6 Republicans in there. 2, one said nothing at all when they released the statement. 2 said that he never said that, Cotton and Perdue. And Lindsey Graham came out and just said, "I have made my peace with the president."
Well,
what does that mean?
So there's, and you know, by the way, of course, this is going to be used by the left. Frankly, like deplorables was used by Trump during the election over the weekend. Did you see the S-hole was projected onto Trump's D.C. hotel?
No, I did not.
There's a huge S-hole, you know, that was projected with a light from a distance, and it also had the poop emoji, which is a nice touch. And then pay Trump bribes here, emoluments welcome. All of that was projected onto Trump's hotel. So the Antifa folks are enjoying this. But there is this underlying question, not about the judiciousness of using language like that in the way that he used it, but it's the issue that's implicit. Does country of origin matter? The fundamental question when it comes to thinking about immigration policy is it the immigrants' interests that are preeminent or the country's? In other words, because if we don't care about, I should say, if the perspective is it's about the immigrants' interests, it's about the person who wants to come here, their interests, well, then why would we care about whether they're on welfare or able to be self-sustaining or anything else? Because we're looking at it through their eyes. Or is it about our country's interests? That's it, like a first principle type of question. And when you answer that question, you start to get down the path into policy consistent with that answer. It seems to me that the two parties are answering the question differently. One, the Democrats are saying, we looked at immigration through the eyes of the person who wants to come here. Right. And Republicans are saying, we look at immigration through the eyes of what is in our country's best interests. So who's right? Which answer should inform our immigration policy? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. Let's go to Paul in Lake Forest. You're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, good morning.
Morning.
Quick comments about Dick Durbin. I mean, when I was younger, 3 brothers, all played sports. Parents told us, and this is before molestation and raping became popular, the worst thing you could be was a tattletale. Don't come to us with what your brother did wrong. We don't want to know it. You guys figure it out. Somebody tattled on you at school, You got your buddies together. You beat the crap out of them. You never tattled on anybody ever again. So being a tattletale was the worst type of characteristic you could have. This Dick Durbin, and I'm going to have to bathe after I mention his name to you guys one more time. This gutless punk is the scum of the earth to be in on a private meeting with the president, and the guy blurts out a word, and I'm sure he said it. You can say these things it's supposed to be in private. You're trying to run a country, for goodness sake. He goes out and tattletales to the public.
Well, it's not private if you're
president.
president.
I wish I were one of Donald Trump's brothers and take care of this the way it should be taken care of, like the way we took care of this stuff in Chicago. One more point, and then please, you guys can comment. I believe now, every time the Democrats say something, they should preface it by saying, in another attempt to distract from the Hillary Clinton arrest, we bring up S-holes. We bring up DACA. We bring up this. It is so obvious that all they want to do is distract from what Hillary and Bill did, because when they take her down, down goes radical feminism, down goes the left-wing media, down goes Democrats, and they're done. They are desperate, man. I smell desperation. The cologne of desperation on Dick Durbin.
Thanks for the call, Paul.
President Trump did respond last night. He was at Mar-a-Lago, of course. He'll be there today, too, with Kevin McCarthy. They were walking outside, and somebody asked him, "Are you a racist?"
No, I'm not a racist. I am the least racist person you have ever interviewed. That I can tell you.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of those questions like, when did you stop beating your wife? I mean, how do you answer that? It's an idiotic question. Are you racist? Dan in Libertyville, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hello, Dan. Thank you for your opinion. I liked what I had to hear there was that we need to start thinking about what's good for the nation, not just what's good for the immigrant. And this is something that we have not talked about in my lifetime. I think it's something we need to seriously consider, because if we're thinking about every person who needs to come here, we could just invite, 1 billion people and let them change the whole country to be something that it isn't.
Thanks for the call, Dan. It'd be more than 1 billion. I mean, you're talking about 60% of the world doesn't have
clean water.
Doesn't have indoor plumbing,
Right.
Reliable indoor plumbing. I mean, so that's sort of relevant to the discussion. It can't just be sentimentalism, which is what the left offers. Even though when they're pressed on this, I want merit, yeah, of course merit. Because the point is that if we had a merit-based system, that doesn't mean people from Haiti or El Salvador or anywhere else wouldn't come here. It just means the standards have changed. There's a good piece in National Review, Country of Origin Matters, and the matters meaning matters in terms of one's projected self-sufficiency. Mm-hmm. And what does this mainly turn on? Education. It's no different in places. I mean, it's no different in terms of education being the pathway to independence in Central American or Middle Eastern or Asian or African countries than it is in our country. And how much time do we spend talking about the woeful state of K through 12 education in urban centers like Chicago? Why? Because it matters. It is directly related to one's ability to be self-sufficient, if that's something that you care about. If it's not, if it's just like somebody wants to come here and they have very little chance of being self-sufficient, and if they go on the welfare state and become another dependent, that's fine. Well, that's a different perspective, but at least we should flush those positions out into the open so they can be honestly debated. Greg in LaGrange, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hi, good morning, guys.
Morning.
I guess my whole frustration in all of this, and I do believe Trump said it was a private meeting, but Dick Durbin and Illinois belong together like nothing else.
Like stink on S-holes.
I wish, exactly. But, I guess my whole point is, why can't the Republicans come to the final question and just say to the Democrats, just let's expose their end game. Just say, if we give the children, DACA children, a path to citizenship and their immediate families, will that satisfy you? Then can we get tight on the border? Then can we be strong on immigration? Then can we evaluate people coming into the country, whether or not they're going to be a drain on our welfare system? Why can't the Republicans put this to Chuck Schumer or Dick Durbin and say, when is enough enough? What do you want do you want open borders or do you not want open borders? Let's get that question out right now.
Thanks for the call, Greg. By the way, the president did tweet out on Sunday that DACA is probably dead because the Democrats don't really want it. They just want to talk and take desperately needed money away from the military.
I think DACA might be dead because of his comments that the president made. Why
would that make DACA dead?
What lawmakers are going to want to work with a president who thinks people from certain countries are blank holes?
So are you familiar with American history and, I don't know, Lyndon Baines Johnson's very liberal use of the N-word? Are you familiar with Woodrow Wilson, who screened Birth of a Nation in the White House and lamented about the South winning the Civil War? You think this is the first president who's ever had a potty mouth or said something untoward? There have been presidents much worse, particularly in retrospect. But even in the moment, they should have been seen as nasty and racist as they were. LBJ, Woodrow Wilson, just two examples. So who wants to work with them? This is about policy. They have constituents, too. They want to get DACA done, don't they? Or do they want to see it go away on March 5th?
No, they want to get it done.
So why would they say, well, we're not going to play now because you used a potty word? Literally? Yemi on the north side. Hey, Yemi.
Hi, good morning, Dan. How are you? Actually, I don't know what to believe if actually President Trump made that comment. Or what I want to say, because I'm from Nigeria, when all those Democratic senators and Republican senators going to stand actually for the people in Nigeria against their government that, kind of screw their economy for them to, fly or flew to other countries. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Yemi. Appreciate your perspective.
If you're talking about it, Dan and Amy are talking about it. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Hi, I'm Andrea Kashaba, owner of Tulane & Associates, an accounting and tax service in Elk Grove Village. If you're a small business, feeling snubbed or overcharged by your current accounting firm, I invite you to give us a try. You shouldn't have to feel overlooked by your current tax accountant because you're a small business. Small businesses and individuals are my specialty. I will always treat you and your business with respect, and we'll take care of as much or as little as you'd like us to do. From payroll to sales taxes, financial statements to business and personal taxes, projections, or bookkeeping services. Call Tulane & Associates at 847-952-1510 or visit TulaneandAssociates.com. That's THULIN, Tulane & Associates. Get a no-cost 1-hour initial consultation that could change the way you do business. Call 847-952-1510. That's 847-952-1510.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity, sponsored by Upstream-Ideas.com. In 2018, the GOP's continued standing as the majority party will turn on the participation of culturally anxious voters, the people who appreciate the distinctions between liberty and libertinism, the people who understand the implications of erasing the lines between decency and indecency, the people who are respectful of the time, money, and lives of others, the people who recognize identity politics for the cultural poison that it is, the people who still talk of men and women without the cisgender modifier, the people whose lives are defined by the love of family and friends, not the popularity of a hashtag campaign. The people who will listen to rather than shout down an opposing viewpoint. The people who see things for what they are rather than redefine them through a distorted political lens. The people who believe in being their brother's keeper but don't believe they should be forced to be a sugar daddy. It won't be a single issue. It's not going to be a question of one accomplishment or one failure. It'll turn on whether or not Republicans let cultural Marxists run roughshod over people in their offices, their churches, and their kids' schools. The GOP's majority status will turn on its ability to serve as political Xanax connects to the culturally anxious.
Sean Hannity is right. IRS problems can be devastating. I'm attorney Stephen Leahy, host of the IRS Radio Hour, heard right here on this station every Sunday evening at 5 o'clock. And I help business owners, 1099 employees, and those with unfiled tax returns solve their IRS problems. I know you want a local attorney you could look in the eye and hold accountable for solving your IRS problem, not some big box outfit without a Chicago connection. So if you fear the IRS will take your money, bank account, wages, or visit your home or job, and now they can take your passport, you need to hire me to solve your IRS problem for good. Today, I have a special bonus. If you are one of the first 25 to call and hire me to solve your IRS problem, we will prepare your 2017 tax returns for free. Call me, attorney Stephen Leahy, your Chicago IRS answer man at 312-664-6649. Again, that's 312-664-6649. One more time, 312-664-6649. Or visit us on the web at chicagotaxteam.com. Don't wait. Call me now and get the IRS out of your business and your life for good.
Message and data rates may apply.
Guys, this may be the last time you ever have to think about hair loss. Because I'm telling you, Bosley is the real deal. They're giving men their hair back permanently. Their real hair. All it takes to get started on the hair gain train is a single text message. We'll send you a link with direct access to a special website that unlocks an incredible offer. An absolutely free information kit and a free gift card. Simply text STRONG to 85850. Bosley will show you for free how great your hair could look. Dude, this isn't your dad's hair loss treatment. People all over the country trust Bosley because they're America's #1 hair restoration expert, ahead of the curve with the latest technology. And the best part, Bosley's solution is permanent. Drop what you're doing, get direct access to a special site for your free information kit and gift card for $250 off by texting STRONG to 85850. That's STRONG to 85850.
Mike Gallagher says talk of a coup is no laughing matter.
I want you to consider the seriousness of an attempt at a coup. This isn't funny. This isn't lighthearted. This shouldn't be just gossip. Watching people attempt to take down a presidency is starting to really get my attention.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
5:57. Let's get an update on the roads this morning. In the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. Slow going on the inbound Eisenhower, Manheim to Harlem, and Damon to the Burns Circle. Speeds are reduced due to the snow. Right now it's about 36 minutes, 390 to downtown. The Edens of the Kennedy are okay at the moment. I-55, it's slow and snowy in both directions south of 47, southwest of 47. It's heavy on the inbound Stevenson, Lamont Road to Cass. About 40 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Up on 43, a crash before Harlem on the right side. Ryan is okay. Southbound 53 at Higgins, crash, blocks 2 left lanes. Westbound I-80, bottled up LaGrange already before Wolf, reported crash at I-80. It's slick and snowy this morning. Traffic service of Account Temps. You could use help closing your books and need additional staff. It's time to call Account Temps. They can provide you with bookkeepers and other accounting and finance professionals on a temporary or project basis. And fast. Call today Account Temps, a Robert Half company. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast with our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
A winter weather advisory in effect until noon. Bit of snow accumulating up to an additional inch, high 27. Couple of snow showers tonight. Storm total amount 2 to 4 inches, low 11. Occasional snow and flurries mainly later tomorrow, high 24. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
Currently 19 at O'Hare. We have 20 along Chicago's lakefront. The news, a service of Indeed.com, used by over 3 million businesses for hiring. Where business owners and HR pros can post job openings with screener questions, then sort and review and communicate with candidates from online dashboards. Learn more at Indeed.com/hire. 5:59 on AM 560, The Answer. And here are the stories we're following this morning. Drivers need to be careful as the National Weather Service says up to 5 inches of snow could fall in parts of the area. An investigation continues after a man was found dead on Chicago's south side. The victim's body discovered yesterday near 119th and Harvard. Federal, state, and local government offices around the Chicago area closed in observance of Martin Luther King Jr. Day today. One person hurt following a house fire on Chicago's South Side. The blaze broke out yesterday inside of a home on South Elizabeth. Right now, there's no cause. Bulls welcome the red-hot Heat to the UC this afternoon. Red Wings blanked the Blackhawks 4-0 in Chicago, and the Fighting Illini looking for their first Big Ten win tonight at Nebraska. The struggling Illini 10-8, 0-5 in the Big Ten Conference. More Dan and Amy after Fox. WIND Chicago News Time, 6 o'clock.
He's no racist. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what President Trump says about himself amid all the controversy over what he denies he said about African countries at an immigration meeting with lawmakers last week. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave, President Trump spoke to reporters at Mar-a-Lago last night.
I am the least racist person you have ever interviewed.
Democratic Senator Dick Durbin claims President Trump used an expletive during that immigration meeting, but some Republican senators who were also there issuing denials. Senator Tom Cotton on CBS Face the Nation.
I didn't hear it, and I was sitting no further away from Donald Trump than Dick Durbin was.
The president blaming Democrats for a lack of progress on finding a fix for the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program. Dave?
Rachel, the U.S.-led coalition battling ISIS in Syria has a new plan to form a force of troops led by the Kurds to secure areas along the Syrian border with Iraq and Turkey. Well, that country's president in Turkey's angry, threatening to drown that force. Russia and Syria also condemning it. The worker in Hawaii who inadvertently set out that missile alert Saturday has been reassigned. State lawmakers and the FCC are investigating what went wrong.
Here's what nearly 1 million people received on their cell phones from Hawaii's emergency management. Ballistic missile threat inbound to Hawaii, seek immediate shelter. This is not a drill. Well, as you can imagine, people began scrambling for safety. Some sought refuge underground, some ditched their cars. The panic went on for some 38 minutes before a correction went out, a false alert due to human error.
Fox's Kelly Wright, a nightmare of a boat ride in Port Richey, Florida.
I was sitting in my family room. I looked out. I saw like a flame coming out of the boat.
The shuttle boat taking people to a casino ship offshore went up in flames yesterday afternoon. Screaming passengers and crew jumped into the shallow water. All of them survived. Some had minor injuries. Fox News, fair and balanced.
On AM 560, The Answer. Your opinion counts. And we want to know how you feel about the news stories we're talking about each and every day. Make sure to vote in the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll at 560theanswer.com. Listen for today's poll question at 10:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 3:30 p.m. and hear the results each evening at 5:30. It's the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll on 560theanswer.com.
The war on depression is over.
You win.
Depression. With all the drugs and side effects, the endless counseling, the frustration with life and relationships.
The war is over. You win.
In a few short weeks, your life will change.
It's TMS therapy.
Over 1 million people have been treated, and the results are nothing short of outstanding. It's FDA cleared. It's covered by most insurance, including Blue Cross Blue Shield and Medicare.
Most drugs and other treatments just mask the depression.
TMS treats the cause, so you can win the war with your depression. Remission or cure.
Depression gone.
Get a free consultation at one of the HPR centers in Chicagoland and Wisconsin. Ask questions.
For you or someone you love, safe, revolutionary, effective treatment for depression.
Let depression recovery begin. HPR centers.
800-604-0208. 800-604-0208.
Go to endmydepression.com.
All money managers may seem pretty much the same. But while some money managers may recommend high commission investment products, Fisher Investments avoids them. Some money managers may have hidden and layered fees. Fisher Investments never does. And while some money managers are happy to earn commissions from you, whether you do well or not, Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when you do better. In other words, we're structured to be on your side. Maybe that's why most of our clients come to us from other money managers. Talk with us and find out why so many experienced investors are switching to and staying with Fisher Investments. Fisher Investments, clearly better money management. Investments in securities involve the risk of loss. Visit us at FisherInvestments.com to find out what we can do for you.
Hi, Amy Jacobson here, and I'm excited to tell our listeners that own or manage companies about a company you likely haven't heard of. I know that sounds strange, but with over 30 years in business, they've never had to advertise. They're that good. Anion Blinds is a local company that shares our values and have been selling and installing blinds, rolling shades, shutters, and motorized window treatments to area businesses for over 3 decades. And every review is positive. You'll be amazed how cost-effective it is working with experts who can recommend the right products, install them, and guarantee all their work. From property managers and Fortune 500 companies in need of replacement window treatments to startups in the decoration phase, Anion Blinds does everything right. Call competitively priced Anion Blinds today for your window treatment consultation at 630-662-1621 or visit AnionBlinds.com. That's ANION Blinds.com.
Listen to AM 560 on your mobile device. Now available on iHeartRadio. Online at iHeartRadio.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. Martin Luther King's birthday today. We're in the year of the 50th anniversary of his assassination, April 4th, 1968. You know how I've remembered that date since I was in grade school. So one of the projects, my 8th grade teacher, Mrs. Flynn, over at St. Michael's.
The St. Michael's?
The St. Michael's, the Mrs. Flynn. Great teacher. She's there for like 50 years.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Is she still there? Or is she
Yeah.
Really? Really?
Yeah. Awesome.
We should have had her call in
That's
this morning.
That's Catholic school for you.
Yeah.
Little hat tip for you parents out there. Or a little tip, I should say, and a hat tip to Mrs. Flynn. So one of the projects that we did is everybody in class had to pick it, as a way of really learning history.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody in class had to pick a year and then write a newspaper about that year. The top stories in politics and world events and sports and culture
too,
and like a newspaper. When the era where newspapers actually existed, and I picked 1968. So it's such a great experiment. It's a great assignment because you get beyond just memorizing April 4th, 1968, and you get into learning about the newsmakers from that year that you had to dedicate to your project. So that's how I remembered and started to really learn a lot about Martin Luther King Jr. And so we certainly remember him on this day. And one of the things that's interesting to me, and as I was reading some of the kind of op-eds you get around the time of Martin Luther King's birthday, is the left reiterating this point that I've heard many people make. White America has made Martin Luther King safe, but he was really a revolutionary. Yeah, he was. Yeah. I agree he was a revolutionary. Now that we have agreement, let's build on that. Because in the immortal words of Thomas Jefferson, a little rebellion now and then is a good thing. It is to the political world what storms are to the physical world. So the question is, if Martin Luther King was this great revolutionary, and he was, and thank God he was. Thank God he wasn't pedestrian. Thank God he wasn't just another hustler, political hack. So if that's the model of revolution to deal with injustice, then why is it so many on the left and the center right, frankly, settle for the political hack du jour, the next in line sentinel of the welfare state, both on the left and the center right? If a revolutionary like King was able to do what many people would have scoffed at his ability to do, to lead the charge for an end to de jure segregation, then why do we settle for the hacks that we have today? And nowhere, and that includes the quote-unquote self-appointed leaders of the black community, as well as the political ruling class locally and nationally. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. We're going to talk to Walter Williams at the bottom of the 7 o'clock hour, George Mason University economist, part of the civil rights movement in the 60s. Also in the Hill, our friend Bob Woodson, who founded the Woodson Center. This is a nonprofit that helps residents of low-income neighborhoods address problems in their communities. We've talked about Woodson on the show before. He was also involved in the civil rights movement. He writes in the Hill, truly honoring the legacy of Dr. King as his piece. Today, King would be appalled if he were to come back and witness the wholesale dismantling of the rich legacy for which he and so many fought and died in the civil rights movement. The noble struggle for equal rights has morphed into a race grievance industry. He goes on to say that the race grievance industry, which he then details at some length, the aspiring young person of color today is basically told, don't bother struggling against your circumstances. The larger realities of your race have already determined that you cannot succeed in white society. Nothing could be further from the message of Dr. Martin Luther King. To honor him rightfully on this day, the day that is dedicated in his name, would be to remember the rich legacy of mutual aid, self-determination, and personal responsibility that enabled blacks to achieve remarkable victories in spite of daunting odds and oppression, and to look at the oases of excellence in low-income communities today where those same values are producing inspiring models of achievement. Does Bob Woodson have it generally correct, do you think? I think he does. Shelby Steele, in the Wall Street Journal of the weekend, our friend Shelby Steele, even a more provocative statement. The oppression of black people is over with. This is politically incorrect news, but it is true nonetheless. We blacks are today a free people. It is as if freedom sneaked up and caught us by surprise. Of course, this doesn't mean there's no racism left in American life. Racism is endemic to the human condition, just as stupidity is. Always have to be on guard against that. But now it's recognized as a scourge, as the crowning immorality of our age and our history. So if protest tries to make a point, what is the point of the current protest? It's just the race grievance industry that Bob Woodson writes about, isn't it? That's what it seems to me. Martin Luther King, by comparison, how about his one of my favorite speeches from Martin Luther King, perhaps my favorite. It's the street sweeper speech that he gave at New Covenant Church in Chicago just about a year before his assassination in April of '67. Martin Luther King, the street sweeper.
What I'm saying to you this morning, my friend, even if it falls your lot to be a street sweeper, go on out and sweep streets like Michelangelo painted pictures. Sweep streets like Handel and Beethoven composed music. Sweep streets like Shakespeare wrote poetry. Sweep streets so well that all the host of heaven and earth will have to pause and say, here lived a great street sweeper who swept his job well. If you can't be a pine on the top of the hill, be a scrub in the valley, but be the best little scrub on the side of the reel. Be a bush if you can't be a tree. If you can't be a highway, just be a trail. If you can't be the sun, be a star. It isn't by size that you win or you fail. Be the best of whatever you are.
Does that sound like anything you hear from the self-appointed civil rights leaders and politicians of the left who like to carry on this topic today? Does that ring familiar at all? Does that sound like Jesse Jackson or Al Sharpton or pick your MSNBC host or, frankly, even people that were heroes of the civil rights movement? John Lewis, the congressman from Georgia. Does that sound like what John Lewis is saying today? Maybe he should go back and re-listen to some of these Martin Luther King speeches. Because as Shelby Steele points out in his Journal op-ed, there was a specific point. There was a moral calling, and King was, of course, right. And what he did was hold up our stated principles and say, is the treatment of black Americans consistent with these principles? And obviously it wasn't. King. Go ahead.
Do you think Martin Luther King Jr. would be approve of the Black Lives Matter movement or Antifa?
Did you think that the Black Lives Matter movement or Antifa is saying anything commensurate with what you just heard from King?
No. And it takes an aggressive. I mean, they're aggressive groups, and I don't think Martin Luther King would approve of it.
Well, and it's not to say, like, you know, I'm not going to get into this, like, this stupid Martin Luther King would be a Republican today. I'm not doing that. Just talking about the substance of Martin Luther King and his the basis for the movement. You know, but when it comes to economics, you know, you argue about this too. Martin Luther King was a capitalist or he was a socialist, and he certainly has flirtation with socialism. But in a letter in 1952, he demonstrates that he was more radical than people may have thought. But also, I imagine you already know that I'm much more socialistic in my economic theory than capitalistic. And yet I'm not so opposed to capitalism that I fail to see its relative merits. It started out with noble and high motive to block the trade monopolies of nobles. But like most human system, it falls victim to the very thing it was revolting against. So today, capitalism has outlived its usefulness. It's brought about a system that takes necessities from the masses to give luxuries to the classes. So it's 52. Other writings from King and remarks that he made suggest that he moved off of that a little bit. But so, you know, he's a complicated figure. He's a man who had human failings like we all do. He's not a god. He was just a great leader and the right leader for this, to right this moral wrong. But King's mountaintop speech the day before his assassination in Memphis.
Yeah.
Remember this? This was at the Mason Temple in Memphis. It's eerie, if you recall, because
did you make some prophetic statements?
Basically, and you'll remember this when you hear it. But first, before you get to I've been to the mountaintop, he laid out the case, what I said previously about holding our principles as enshrined in our founding documents up against the treatment of Black Americans and saying, are those two things consistent? And obviously the answer was no.
All we say to America is be true to what you said on paper. If I lived in China or even Russia or any totalitarian country, maybe I could understand some of these illegal injunctions. Maybe I could understand the denial of certain basic First Amendment privileges because they haven't committed themselves to that over there. But somewhere I read of the freedom of assembly. Somewhere I read of the freedom of speech. Somewhere I read of the freedom of press. Somewhere I read that the greatness of America is the right to protest far right.
Pretty compelling case he makes. And this is the kind of eerie prophetic statement.
Well, I don't know what will happen now. We've got some difficult days ahead. But it really doesn't matter with me now because I've been to the mountaintop. I don't mind. Like anybody, I would like to live a long life. Longevity has its place. But I'm not concerned about that now. I just want to do God's will. And He's allowed me to go up to the mountain. And I've looked over and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land.
Still gives me the chills.
Well, I mean, he's an unbelievable thinker and speaker. Philip in Blue Island, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Well, happy Dr. King Day to everybody. And, to hear this speech of I had a dream and And that's basically what I don't know why they would just want to focus on those speeches or that particular speech, because he has kind of evolved into a more conscientious and after being beaten and stabbed and all these different things that has happened to him in America, and to end up being killed and shot and killed, he was coming to the point where he did meet with Malcolm X, and he was meeting with other groups that were the Black Panthers and other groups that weren't so quote unquote like you want to put them up with Black Lives Matter, which is crazy. But Dr. King was changing, and I mean, he had come to the point where he is quoted as saying that he has realized that we actually integrated into a burning building. So he was feeling bad about some of the decisions that he made, especially when it comes to integration, because once we started integrating, then all the black businesses went down because blacks started supporting white businesses. And you see how that has worked out for us, to where basically, we don't have any businesses in the black community anymore.
But it has nothing, and that has nothing to do with the Great Society, does it?
Well, it kind of does, because once we started believing, drinking the Kool-Aid of integration and of anti-segregation, we thought we can get along, and we thought that if we were to patronize you, that whites would patronize blacks.
What is that? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Loving each other, and that's what Dr.
Philip,
King had to do.
I got
integrated into a burning building.
Yeah, okay.
And he come to Chicago and get hit with a stone.
Yeah.
And,
so I'm sorry, Philip. Your filibuster's over. I'm sorry. I asked a question about the welfare state, and you're talking about patronizing businesses.
What about the welfare state? I mean, if you eliminate jobs, if you're not hiring because of the color of somebody's skin, or just look at the society at large. If you have slums and you have all these different entities in the slums with the drugs and the alcohol and the gambling and the prostitution, and you growing up in this, and so it's a cycle of degradation that you're growing up in. So once you get older and then you end up in prison, people like conservatives or like yourself will look at these people as less than, or as they're such a problem.
Actually,
but
don't
society is not doing anything to fix these things.
Actually, Philip, you have to let other people talk. Actually, let me tell you something. Don't tell me what I think. You know so much about me. You want to know what I think?
Your
Ask
words.
me. All right, see if
Your deeds, your actions.
Yeah, Philip, I understand.
Pages.
I understand. You want to go back to segregation. You think that's the answer. It's fascinating. And the welfare state is funny because those problems that you describe were certainly less pronounced. I mean, significantly less pronounced than under Jim Crow. And the racist government-sponsored oppression of black people. And so actually, you don't want to answer the question because you know what the Great Society and the welfare state has done. So you're exactly who, forget my words, Philip, Bob Woodson and Walter Williams and Thomas Sowell and Shelby Steele, who were there. I wasn't. They were. They were radicals too. And then they grew up, speaking of people growing up, and they did assessments of the choices that were made and the impacts that were delivered. The assessment that you don't want to do. You're who Woodson and Steele and Williams and Sowell and so many others are talking about. And despite King's meetings with the Black Panthers and so on and so forth, I mean, this is a political movement too. So you have different institutions and people, organizations play different roles. But everything you said is completely at odds with the clips that we played from Dr. Martin Luther King. And by the way, as per usual, setting up straw man to argue with, like so many of your philosophical ilk do. We didn't play a clip from the I Have a Dream speech. But that's all you got. I get it.
Listen to Dan and Amy on your smartphone. Download the AM560 mobile app today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Hey, would you buy a house without looking inside? Well, of course not. Shouldn't you be just as diligent when choosing a financial advisor? Hey, it's Sean Hannity here, and just as a house is more than four walls, well, a financial advisor is more than just a nice office. What's their background? Do they work in your best interest as a fiduciary? What's their financial specialty? You want to know all these things because the chances are over your lifetime, you're going to trust them with far more than the value of your home because knowledge and experience count for a lot in retirement income planning. Here in Chicago, you need to know Anthony and Michael Pellegrino and their team at Goldstone Financial Group. Call them now, 800-620-9697. That's 800-620-9697. Don't be cavalier with what you have spent a lifetime building. Call Goldstone Financial Group, 800-620-9697.
Investment advisory services offered through Goldstone Financial Group, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
Do you have a family? Would you like to help make sure they'll be taken care of if anything were to happen to you? If you answered yes, you probably need life insurance. Now, do you think life insurance is expensive? If you answered yes to that too, you definitely need to give AIG Direct a call. We could find you a $250,000 policy for just $14 a month, which means you could save hundreds of dollars a year. Call us now for a free, no-obligation quote. 1-800-400-1902. Since 1995, we've helped millions of people find out if they could save up to 70% on their term life insurance. See how affordably we can help you protect your family. Call AIG Direct now for your free quote. 1-800-400-1902. You could save up to 70%. That's 1-800-400-1902. 1-800-400-1902.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
We love the product. I think we've been on it for, 12 years now, or pretty close, and we believe in it, and we're going to continue taking it.
I have a $1,200 knee brace because I have bone on bone in my left knee, and I have a torn cartilage in my right knee. And since I've been taking Balance of Nature, I don't wear my brace, and I can walk without pain. It's I had these copper things I used to put on my knees. I don't use those either. I don't use anything. I think it's just wonderful.
Have the confidence that you're giving your body what it needs. Call now to receive 35% off your first Balance of Nature order. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code CHICAGO.
Can judges be impeached for using foreign laws in our courts? This is Law and Justice with Jay Sekulow.
What I don't understand, what I've been always asking myself about, why can't they be impeached if they're going against the Constitution by citing foreign law? Because Article 6 says that they're bound to the Constitution and laws in the U.S.
Yeah, Constitution of the United States. No, it's a great question. And the reason is because the articles of impeachment set forth in the Constitution have to be what's called for bad behavior. And citing a foreign precedent, which I think is absolutely absurd, especially since Europe doesn't even have a constitution. Having said that, though, it's not a basis for disqualification. So it has to be bad behavior, and that is not deemed to be inappropriate or an impeachable offense.
Stay informed on critical issues by visiting us online at aclj.org. That's aclj.org.
Hey, Butch, all I ever see you eat is raw meat, whiskey, and an occasional bowl of rusty nails. Now, I know you're tough, but with your diet, what's your secret to avoiding the flu?
Jim, this is between us. You hear?
Sure, Butch, you can trust me.
Well, I take Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies. I take them on the go or under the table when no one's looking. It's the only way I'd ever get over 10 real servings of fruits and vegetables.
Is it like a vitamin or something?
No, it's food. They only use real whole ingredients. Not that isolated or synthetic crap you get with all the other guys. This is real stuff, Jim. Real stuff. They sell direct to consumers and ship right to your door, free of charge.
Well, Buckaroo, how do I get them?
Call them at 1-800-2468-751. Write it down, Jim, before someone sees me. It's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code WAGON for a special offer.
AM 560.
In
The Answer.
It's that time of year again, cold and snow here. 2 to 4 inches today we're going to get. So it's, it's nasty out there, but you want to go somewhere warm and sunny, and that's Riviera Maya, Mexico. Today's high, 84 degrees there, mostly sunny skies. And that's where we're heading with Apple Vacations, and you're invited to come along with us. We'll be staying at the beautiful Secrets Maroma Beach, Riviera Cancun Resort and Spa in Riviera Maya, Mexico. 9 gourmet restaurants, 6 bars, unlimited premium drinks, 24-hour room service. It's beautiful. I mean, unlimited luxury, adults only, so you won't hear anybody go, Mom, Mom, Mom. The resort is situated. You get that all the time, right, Dan? Every day? It's situated on Maroma Beach, and it's one of the world's best beaches. So get more information and book your trip by visiting 560theanswer.com/passport. The price that Apple Vacations has secured for us is incredible and exclusive to us, but it's only available for a limited time. We already know some regulars have signed up. Rick and Debbie are going. Jennifer and Jonathan are going from Kansas, our good friends. So come to this trip. You're going to have the best time ever. 560theanswer.com/passport.
I've already got a golf course recommendation, too.
Oh, good.
So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. All right, also looking forward to 6:36 when Joe Trippi joins us, FNC contributor, former Howard Dean campaign manager, of course. Is Speaker Nancy Pelosi already baked into the 2018 cake? We'll debate that with Trippi at 6:36.
And later, she's back. Chelsea Manning is running for a U.S. Senate seat. We'll have her campaign ad. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
Snow showers and mostly cloudy skies. 19 at 6:30 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. There are some school closings already this morning, mostly due to the winter weather. City Baptist schools in Hammond are closed. Calvary Church School in Orland Park opening late. St. Joseph's High in Kenosha, Wisconsin closed today. St. Thomas More Catholic School in Elgin also closed. President Trump denying accusations that he is a racist after reports he made vulgar comments about residents of Haiti, El Salvador, and some countries in Africa. Trump reportedly made those crude, profane comments during an immigration policy discussion with senators on immigration last week, but Georgia's Senator David Perdue says it is a gross misrepresentation that President Trump made disparaging remarks about those immigrants during that meeting.
Language was used in there that was not used, and also that the tone of that meeting was not contributory and not constructive.
Appearing on ABC's This Week, the Republican saying, quote, I'm telling you that he did not use those words, end quote. Others attending the meeting, like Illinois Democrat Dick Durbin, say the president did use the off-color remarks. Meantime, the president is disputing a portion of the story by the Wall Street Journal, in which he's said to have a good relationship with North Korea's leader. The Journal tweeted a recording of that quote on Saturday.
And I probably have a very good relationship with Kim Jong-un of North Korea. I have relationships with people. I think you people are surprised.
Trump tweeting on Sunday, the Journal falsely stated that he said he has a good relationship. Obviously, he says he believes he said I'd have a good relationship with Kim Jong-un, end quote. North Korea now threatening to pull out of next month's Winter Olympics because it doesn't like what South Korea's president said about President Trump. South Korean President Moon Jae-in saying in a speech last week that Trump deserves credit for bringing about the talks with the North. Pope Francis on his way to Latin America, leaving the Vatican today on a 7-day trip to Chile and Peru. Authorities are still searching for a person of interest following a deadly shooting over the weekend outside a shopping mall in North Riverside. An investigation continues after a man was found dead on Chicago's South Side. The victim's body discovered yesterday near 119th and Harvard. A man and woman are wounded following a shootout in McHenry. Officers were called out early this morning to a home in the 5100 block of Home Avenue for a domestic disturbance. Both victims were found suffering from gunshot wounds. The Ford Motor Company is bringing back its iconic Ranger pickup. It unveils this morning at the North American International Auto Show in Detroit its newest pickup truck, but it's a throwback, of course, to the iconic Ranger. Along with the Ranger, Ford is also going to unveil a special edition Bullitt version of the Mustang, celebrating the 50th anniversary of the movie Bullitt. Bulls and the Red Hot Heat at the United Center this afternoon. Red Wings beat the Blackhawks 4-0. And tonight, the Fighting Illini go for their first Big Ten win at Nebraska. The news, a service of Accountemps. Payroll, bookkeeping, month-end. Are you feeling short-staffed? Accountemps can provide accounting and finance professionals on a temporary or project basis when you need them to help with increased workloads. Call them today or visit Accountemps.com. Accountemps is a Robert Half company. 6:34 is our time, and we'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Dennis Prager has changed his tune on higher education.
Why is America not uprising against the evil crap that permeates our colleges? I actually admire young people who don't go to college now.
I never thought I'd say that.
But I certainly don't hold it against them. When we hire, it makes zero difference to me if they went to college or not. Zero.
The Dennis Prager Show. Weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Get your truly free credit score and free credit monitoring from Credit Karma. Download the Credit Karma app today. Credit Karma. Get knowing.
Message and data rates may apply.
Guys, this may be the last time you ever have to think about hair loss. Because I'm telling you, Bosley is the real deal. They're giving men their hair back permanently. Their real hair. All it takes to get started on the hair gain train is a single text message. We'll send you a link with direct access to a special website that unlocks an incredible offer. An absolutely free information kit and a free gift card. Simply text STRONG to 85850. Bosley will show you for free how great your hair could look. Dude, this isn't your dad's hair loss treatment. People all over the country trust Bosley because they're America's #1 hair restoration expert, ahead of the curve with the latest technology. And the best part, Bosley's solution is permanent. Drop what you're doing, get direct access to a special site for your free information kit and gift card for $250 off by texting STRONG to 85850. That's STRONG to 85850.
It is 6:36, a snowy start to your Monday morning commute. Let's get the details in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. We look at flight boards at O'Hare and Midway. We're seeing a few more delays now, and O'Hare reports about 40 cancellations today. Midway, 38. A lot for Midway. Metra has trains stopped on the Union Pacific West line right now on the outbound side. It's due to a vehicle stuck on the tracks at Maywood. Eden, Spur eastbound heavy past Waukegan Road. Then it's 26 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose outbound 24. Take the travel numbers with a grain of salt. With the snow, it is slower than usual everywhere. The traffic volume isn't too heavy. Kennedy, 35 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. Outbound, it's about 30 with a crash in California in the right lane. The Eisenhower, 46 minutes from 390 to the Circle, 28 from Manheim. It's snowing on the extension now. The outbound side's okay. Stevenson, 40 minutes either way between 355 and the drive. Ryan, 20, 95th to downtown. Southbound 53 at Higgins, going to crash in the two left lanes. It's slow and snowy on I-80. Traffic at the service of Indeed.com. Indeed, used by over 3 million businesses for hiring, where business owners and HR professionals can post job openings with screener questions, then sort, review, and communicate with candidates from an online dashboard. Learn more at Indeed.com/hire. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Colder, bit of snow. Just a reminder, as Jim has been telling us all morning long, those untreated surfaces will be a bit slippery, so be careful. 24 outside, 2 to 4 inches of snowfall by tonight with a low of 10. Currently, we have 19 at O'Hare and 21 and snow along Chicago's lakefront. Your next news update is at 7. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Watch today's show live right now on the Income Store live video stream at 560theanswer.com.
Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues now. And make sure to stay tuned to catch me, Mike Gallagher, coming up at 9, only on AM 560, The Answer.
Morning, Dan and Amy. And report out of Axios that Speaker Pelosi
yes,
already baked into the cake. Republicans already conceding they're going to lose the House in November. 24 seats have to flip. I think the average turnover in president's midterm election is like 32, average of recent times at least. And so I think the House is gone, and nothing you can do about it. And our friend Joe Trippi penned an op-ed a week or so ago that we discussed that suggests something much more aggressive than that. In fact, that contagion could spread to the Senate, despite the fact that there are many more incumbent Dems up than incumbent Republicans, including in red states like West Virginia, Indiana, North Dakota, that Trump won by a significant margin. He thinks that you can replicate the Doug Jones victory in Alabama across the nation. For more on this topic, we're pleased to be joined by the aforesaid Joe Trippi, Fox News contributor, former campaign manager for Howard Dean, author of the book, The Revolution Will Not Be Televised. Joe, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Good to be with you. I need to correct one thing. I'm now at CNN.
Oh, CNN. I'm sorry. All right, CNN. CNN. Got that. CNN. All right. CNN contributor. Got that. Do you think, well, but before we get to your op-ed and the focus on the Senate to some extent, what about the idea that Speaker Pelosi is a mortal lock, according to some insiders chirping to Axios, that the House is going to be turned over in November?
Well, nothing's ever a moral lock, but as you pointed out, Democrats need 23, 24, 25 in that range seats, and the average change is 32. That's with presidents that have like a 45% approval rating. Barack Obama, for instance, in his first midterm, had a 45% approval, and what happened there was I think it was something like we lost 63 seats.
Yeah.
So and the House. So it's not a lock, but just by the numbers and where this president's approval ratings are, you'd have to. I mean, they're much lower than where recent presidents have been in their first term. So you'd have to. I don't know that it's a lock, but that's where things are headed right now.
Well, on the Senate side, I mean, make your case per your op-ed in USA Today about replicating the Doug Jones victory in Alabama. I mean, you don't have the advantage of running against Roy Moore and all these other states. You can say what you want, but for example,
there's not going to be sex scandals everywhere.
Well, let's just say Indiana. I mean, like Congressman Todd Rokita, if he's the Republican nominee against Joe Donnelly, that's not Roy Moore Doug Jones matchup.
Well, I mean, first of all, it's a mistake to think that Roy Moore and the sexual allegations hurt him. It's a really bizarre. You couldn't make this up, but what happened was those charges, as they came up, Republicans actually started to Roy Moore. Again, it's fake news. It's the Washington Post. It's Mitch McConnell trying to stop him. It's the Washington elites. They're all lies, fake yearbook, and it actually, in a very strange way, was not helpful to us. So I don't, I think first just discount that. What I think is happening here is that obviously, Democrats are very energized. The Democratic base is turning out not just in Alabama but Virginia, New Jersey. The problem you've got, the Republicans have, is that a sizable piece of the Republican Party strongly embraces what Trump is doing and saying, and they are energized by it and thrilled by it when he does things, including his recent comments about Haiti. Whether they did or did not happen doesn't matter, right? The problem is there are a lot of Republicans, and particularly independents, particularly Republican women, who are appalled by it and are tired of it. And that's the group that is joining, that's coming over. That's what's creating these victories. on the Democratic side, and that certainly can happen in places like Arizona and Texas, even with Ted Cruz and some of these other states. So I'm not saying that we take the Senate yet, but I do think it's very difficult for me to see how the Republicans continue to. I mean, I don't recall trying to straddle both those groups in the Republican Party as many of these people right now. Can they sustain that all the way through November and somehow pull both groups in within the party? I don't see it working right now. Maybe they can get it to work.
Well, definitely Republicans are split on whether he used an expletive or not when describing, people coming in from certain countries. But do you think the comment that he made, will that stop DACA from being resolved probably by Friday or even by March 5th?
I wouldn't predict that. I don't know. I mean, you've got out of the White House, how do we negotiate with people who are calling me racist? Calling the president racist and vile. And on the other side, how do we? You got Democrats saying, how do we in good faith negotiate with someone we think is those things, or using that language?
Yeah.
So I mean, how those two sides. And look, that was the meeting. That's where this all happened. And was the president had said, "Hey, bring me a bill that you all bipartisanly agree on, and I'll sign it. Anything you bring." And they brought it, and then we get this, two sides of the story about what happened in the room. But what no one's denying is that whatever happened, whatever the president said, he blew the whole thing up, and isn't signing it. So. Therein, if somebody can predict where this is all going to land, and that gets back to what I'm talking about. It's the chaos of this presidency that's wearing down many Republicans. I mean, I never thought I'd say that, but not his base, not his core support, but a lot of the Republicans who gave him the benefit of the doubt are starting not to do that. They're starting to get tired of that kind of chaos. Where, bring me something and I'll sign it, and then the meeting happens and it's all out the window. That's hurting not just him now, but a lot of the Republicans that are enabling him.
Yeah, although I got to tell you, I mean, I think most people are kind of results-oriented when it comes to politics. Name-calling and process doesn't have much currency, but whether or not you got something big done that you said you were going to get done, whether it's tax cuts or enhanced border security, the wall, as it were, proxy for that, that's what ultimately matters more, particularly to base Republican voters. But let me ask you this. Selena Zito has an interesting piece in the Washington Examiner. She talks about some of these red state incumbent Democrat senators like Donnelly and Manchin and McCaskill. And she suggests that one of the things that they're doing, perhaps to their mistake, is posturing for donors of the left rather than working for voters in their home states that are center-right. And they want to keep New York and San Francisco happy to the detriment of making sure they can get to 50% plus one in their home states. Do you think that's a fair concern?
No, I don't. I mean, I think that at least what I'm seeing is that voters are not. They're just not attuned to where people are getting their money from. I mean, it's on both sides. I've always been somebody who, when I started the Dean campaign, felt like, we get small donations from everywhere and we wipe out big money in politics. Well, that didn't happen.
No.
How naive I was. But what I'm saying is that, ever since we thought, people who are getting tons of money from corporate, PACs would be hurt. That hasn't happened either. So I don't think, it's what's going on right now in our politics is people are focusing on other things, but they don't seem to my,
but that's not.
I'm not a fan of this.
I get
reacting to it.
I get what you're saying, but that's not quite her argument. I should be more explicit. So she's essentially saying that the problem is they're focusing on their donors, satisfying their donors, so they're unwilling to work with the president. You didn't see Donnelly or Heitkamp at that bipartisan group meeting on immigration. They're not willing to vote for tax cuts because it's associated with Trump. That's what she's suggesting.
Yeah, I don't think that's as partisan as she's suggesting. I think that what I'm saying is that there are Republicans who are president in that room here.
Joe, we're losing you on the cell phone there a little bit.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
I think I think you're back. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think that's a misunderstanding, I think, of what's happening where Republicans well, I'm not talking about half Republicans. I'm talking about enough Republicans are appalled by what's going on with the White House that they, too, are leaning towards these Democrats you're talking about. In other words, they don't see it as partisan the way this is getting, the way she wrote it. There are plenty of Republicans who do. In fact, but that's needs to win. Democrats needs to pull in independents and enough Republicans, as Jones did in Alabama, to win in a state like Alabama. And I think that's what is going to happen in places like Indiana and West Virginia and these other states. That doesn't mean it's not going to be easy, but it's doable because of this president.
All right. He is Joe Trippi, former campaign manager for Howard Dean, as he mentioned, author of the book, The Revolution Will Not Be Televised, and a CNN contributor. Joe, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. Take care.
Yeah, and he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
The stories you need to know to start your day. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Oh, it's a two hands on the wheel, drive slow type of morning if you are going to work. We're going to have anywhere from 2 to 4 inches. We have a winter weather advisory until noon today, a high of 27 degrees. Then tonight, some new snow, anywhere from 2 to 4 inches. So it'll be like deja vu tomorrow. And then after that, tomorrow morning, we'll light flurries and then a high of 24. But it will warm up toward the end of the week. Now let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. How many spinouts are on the roadways? Here's Jim Telemonte.
Well, quite a few, Amy, and things kind of change here and there in terms of which roads are in good shape. Then they get snow covered again until they get cleared. They're slow and snowy, so take travel times with a grain of salt. They kind of come and go. The Edens right now is 26 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 24 with a crash past Dempster in the left lane, and that's a spin out into the wall. The Kennedy, about 35 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, outbound 28. The Eisenhower, 46 minutes from 390 to downtown, outbound 30. Again, speeds are reduced everywhere with snow. The Stevenson now 52 minutes, 355 to the drive, outbound 40. Ryan 18 from 95th to downtown. Bishop Ford just about 18 minutes, 80-94 to the right. Tollways actually look a little better than they did a couple of hours ago. No major delays, but it is snowy still. The snow's still coming down. 53 southbound at Higgins, got a crash in the 2 left lanes, and it's very slow and snowy on I-80. Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
I'm Lou Dobbs. Facebook investors not happy with proposed changes. Atlantic City Casinos reporting another year of gains, and soybean and peanut farmers posting record crops. Those stories next. You're paralyzed by the fact you owe the IRS more than $10,000, and like most individuals or businesses, you don't have a clue how to resolve your tax debt. But doing nothing means your problem only worsens. The minute you call Rapid Resolution Tax Group, they'll help determine your best way out of that overwhelming tax load. They're accredited with and A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, and they guarantee same-day contact with the IRS. They know exactly how the IRS works, the solutions and loopholes that can work in your favor. Your call is confidential, and it's the first step in getting real answers. If you owe the IRS more than $10,000, whether it's personal, business, or payroll tax issues, or have years of unfiled returns, call Rapid Resolution Tax Group now at 800-601-2929. That's 800-601-2929. 800-601-2929. As this new business week is underway, Facebook executives are pondering Friday's investor revolt. Shares of Facebook suffered one of the largest losses on the S&P 500 after saying it will limit posts from retailers in favor of more posts from family members and friends. 2017, a great year for Atlantic City casinos. The new chairman of New Jersey's Casino Control Commission says every single casino won more, and he also says internet gambling posted its 4th year of double-digit increases. And the Department of Agriculture saying 2017 produced record harvests of peanuts, hops, and soybeans. Peanut farmers raised production by 30% over the previous year, but wheat production fell by 25%. Please join me for Lou Dobbs tonight, 7 and 11 Eastern, on the Fox Business Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I'm Mark Gastineau. I played in the NFL for 10 years. I was diagnosed with CTE, with dementia, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's. The fruits and vegetables that we take from Balance of Nature is the best thing that we could ever do. And I'm calling in now to order extra because my wife has been taking mine because she sees the difference in me. It is a wonderful thing that Balance of Nature is doing. I hear the testimonies on the radio, but I'm a testimony for myself. And the fruits and vegetables, if I don't take them every single day, my day is not going to go the same. So God bless you, and thank you for what you've done for my wife and I.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
St. John's Northwestern Military Academy has been an all-male military school since 1884, but is going co-ed beginning summer 2018. Their midterm registration is January 21st, and you're invited to attend an upcoming St. John's open house. Consider St. John's Northwestern Military Academy for your son or daughter's middle and high school education in the beautiful Lake Country region of southwest Wisconsin. Your child will receive outstanding academics, superb athletics, leadership opportunities, a chance to live and learn with students from around the world, and most importantly, a safe and structured environment where each student can achieve at his or her full potential. To learn more about how a St. John's Northwestern Military Academy education can give your child the advantage he or she deserves, don't miss an upcoming St. John's open house. For open house dates and more information, call 1-800-SJ-CADET. That's 1-800-SJ-CADET. Or visit their website, sjnma.org. That's sjnma.org.
Relying on checking your credit to help protect you from identity theft? You're kind of walking through life with blinders on.
Parking meter. That came out of nowhere.
Because there are many kinds of identity theft you can still get blindsided by.
Look out! Bike messenger. Didn't see him coming.
Like someone getting an online payday loan in your name or selling your personal information on the dark web.
What? Open manhole. That snuck up on me.
LifeLock sees more. We use proprietary technology to detect a range of identity threats. And if you have a problem, a US-based identity restoration specialist will work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses, but LifeLock can spot threats you might not see coming.
Horse-drawn carriage. Sheesh.
Memberships start at $9.99 a month plus applicable taxes. Now get 10% off. Go to LifeLock.com and enter promo code NEWS. That's promo code NEWS. LifeLock. More detection, more protection.
Hey guys, Ken here from the hit podcast Today's Growth. Who would win a 3-mile bicycle race, an 11-year-old girl or last year's winner of the Tour de France? It all depends on the bicycle. It depends on their vehicle. Both on a 10-speed and the pro racer is going to win every time. But put the racer on a tricycle and the 11-year-old wins every time. You see, it's not the driver, it's the vehicle. When it comes to generating revenue, it's exactly the same. If you have a job or a small business, you are riding a tricycle. You can only go so fast. If you need to make up lost ground, it's not going to happen on a tricycle. No matter how fast you pedal, it's simply not going to win the race. Why do many people with no schooling and no advanced degree often become very wealthy? Simple. They choose to only ride 10 speeds. When it comes to helping people create their next revenue model, both Forbes and Inc. recommend Income Store as a can't miss when it comes to putting people on a 10-speed. Could your household or business use an additional revenue model that doesn't solely depend on you? If so, you need to check out IncomeStore.com. That's IncomeStore.com.
Message and data rates may apply.
Guys, this may be the last time you ever have to think about hair loss. Because I'm telling you, Bosley is the real deal. They're giving men their hair back permanently. Their real hair. All it takes to get started on the hair gain train is a single text message. We'll send you a link with direct access to a special website that unlocks an incredible offer. An absolutely free information kit and a free gift card. Simply text STRONG to 85850. Bosley will show you for free how great your hair could look. Dude, this isn't your dad's hair loss treatment. People all over the country trust Bosley because they're America's #1 hair restoration expert, ahead of the curve with the latest technology. And the best part, Bosley's solution is permanent. Drop what you're doing, get direct access to a special site for your free information kit and gift card for $250 off by texting STRONG to 85850. That's STRONG to 85850.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Just when you thought the dossier story couldn't get any weirder, enter Moby. Let go. It's over. Nobody listens to techno.
And later, Chelsea Manning, her feminine side. She's a fighter. She wants to be a U.S. Senator. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
Amy and Dan, snow showers causing some slippery road problems this morning. Jim Talamonte along in just a moment with a full update on your roads. A passenger with measles may have exposed others at O'Hare. Bulls hosting the Heat today while the Red Wings blank the Blackhawks. Colder and a bit of snow in your forecast, a high of 24. WIND Chicago News Time is 7 o'clock.
President Trump says he is not a racist. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Not only that,
I am the least racist person you have ever interviewed.
Telling reporters in Florida last night he's the least racist person they've ever interviewed.
I think he is a racist.
Congressman John Lewis on ABC. He's among the Democrats who will boycott the President's State of the Union later this month. This after what President Trump denies he said last week. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave, Democratic Senator Dick Durbin said the president used an expletive to describe African nations during an immigration meeting. But Republicans who were also there say that's not true. Georgia Senator David Perdue weighed in on ABC's This Week.
I'm telling you he did not use that word, George, and I'm telling you it's a gross misrepresentation. It's not the first time Senator Durbin has done it.
The president says Democrats don't really want a deal on DACA, saying they want to take money away from the military, referring to a possible government shutdown by the end of the week. Dave.
Now, Rachel, Democrats want that DACA deal to protect some immigrants brought here illegally as kids, included in a spending bill to fund the government beyond Friday. Turkey's president is angry, threatening to drown a new Kurdish-led force the U.S. coalition battling ISIS is setting up to secure areas of Syria at the Turkish and Iraqi borders. Russia and Syria also condemning the force. The FCC is investigating Saturday's mistaken alert in Hawaii, telling people a ballistic missile was coming, and this is not a drill.
Going forward, what we want to do is make sure that we have a system that does not allow these kinds of false alerts to go out. It obviously caused panic in this case.
FCC Chairman Ajit Pai, some Hawaiians rushed to shelter underground until a correction went out 38 minutes later. The worker who inadvertently sent that out by mistake has been reassigned. North and South Korea keep talking, and they want to unify on the ice, wanting International Olympic Committee approval to field a joint Korean women's hockey team at next month's Winter Games in South Korea. Fox News, fair and balanced.
22 degrees, light snow showers, wind southeast at 10. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott on AM 560, The Answer at 7:02. Here are the stories we're following this morning. Drivers being a little on the careful side, heading to work this morning around Chicagoland. The National Weather Service says some areas could see up to 5 inches of snowfall, and a winter weather advisory is in effect until noon. Authorities are searching for a person of interest following a deadly shooting over the weekend outside of a shopping mall in North Riverside. Maria Ruiz and a 14-year-old girl were shot Saturday night in the parking lot of the North Riverside Park Mall. Ruiz died at a nearby hospital while the teen suffered non-life-threatening injuries. An investigation is underway after a man was found dead on Chicago's South Side near 119th and Harvard. And a man and woman are wounded following a shooting in McHenry. Officers were called out to a home this morning for a domestic disturbance. Both victims were found suffering from gunshot wounds. Health officials are warning many who travel through O'Hare about a person may have exposed other travelers to the measles last week. The Illinois Department of Public Health says a passenger infected with the contagious disease arrived Wednesday on an international flight at Terminal 5 and departed on a domestic flight from Terminal 1. Managers of decrepit public housing complexes in Illinois are being ranked as part of the worst in America. The Department of Housing and Urban Development released its rankings last month. Anything below a 60 is considered troubled, Just 60 of the 3,400 housing authorities across the nation scored that low. The worst in the country, the Alexander County Housing Authority, scoring a 19. Bulls take to the United Center floor this afternoon. They'll welcome the red-hot Heat to the UC. Red Wings beat the Blackhawks 4-0. College baskets, DePaul lost to Providence. North Carolina and ACC win over Notre Dame by 1. In Big Ten, Indiana beat Northwestern 66-46. The news service of Accountemps. Payroll, bookkeeping, month end. Are you feeling short-staffed? Accountemps can provide accounting and finance professionals on a temporary or project basis when you need them to help with increased workloads. Call them today or visit Accountemps.com. Accountemps, a Robert Half company. 7:04 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Sean Hannity does the math on Russia.
Now they might point to, well, Paul Manafort was indicted. What about that, Hannity? And I'm like, nothing to do with Trump-Russia collusion. Nothing. Zip. Well, what about Lieutenant General Flynn? No, that was lying to the FBI. That was not Trump-Russia collusion. Well, wait, it's coming, though. It's definitely there. No, that's not going to happen either.
The Sean Hannity Show. Afternoons at 2, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560. The Answer.
All money managers may seem pretty much the same. But while some money managers may recommend high commission investment products, Fisher Investments avoids them. Some money managers may have hidden and layered fees. Fisher Investments never does. And while some money managers are happy to earn commissions from you, whether you do well or not, Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when you do better. In other words, we're structured to be on your side. Maybe that's why most of our clients come to us from other money managers. Talk with us and find out why so many experienced investors are switching to and staying with Fisher Investments. Fisher Investments, clearly better money management. Investments in securities involve the risk of loss. Visit us at FisherInvestments.com to find out what we can do for you.
.06 and a check of the early morning roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. First on the CTA Red Line, Howard-bound trains are stopped at Cermak Chinatown. There's a mechanical problem on a train. There are some flight delays and cancellations at Chicago's airports. Eden Spur eastbound, stop and go from past Waukegan Road to the Edens. Then it's about 26 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 40. Crash at Dempster in the left lane. Kennedy, 40 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, 17 from Montrose, 14 on the Express. Outbound 38 to the airport. Eisenhower, 46 minutes, 390 to downtown. 28 from Manheim, outbound 35 to 390. Stevenson, 52 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 40. I-55 is very slow and snowy south of around 53. Ryan, 18 minutes, 95th to downtown. Tri-State, okay. Reagan Tollway eastbound at Midwest, got a crash in the right lane. Otherwise, the tollways right now look pretty good. Southbound 53, got a crash in the area between Higgins and Beesterfield, the second one in that area. And it's slow going and snowing on I-80, especially west of the Tri-State. And also east of the Tri-State, past LaGrange Road, there's a crash on the westbound side causing a backup. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast with our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
A winter weather advisory in effect until noon today. Cold with a thick cloud cover and a bit of snow, accumulating up to an additional inch. Untreated surfaces will be slippery. High today 27. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
Currently 19 at O'Hare and 21 along Chicago's lakefront. Your next news update is at 7:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Turnkey IT, giving you the freedom to focus on your business while they handle the technical stuff. Turnkey IT.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. You know, one note just on this weekend where we lost. Keep Jackson.
Oh, Nelly.
We had, you had the great championship game on Monday with Alabama winning in overtime on a, heroic pass after a 15-yard loss. And then you had even more drama yesterday in the Vikings game where the last play of the game, after the Saints had come all the way back to take a 1-point lead, 4 seconds left, 61 yards away from the end zone, and this happens.
Steps into it. Pass is caught. Diggs! Sideline! Touchdown! Unbelievable! Vikings win it!
They're calling it the Minneapolis Miracle.
Yeah, it deserves a oh my and a whoa Nelly.
And
by the way, Stephon Diggs, not good enough to play for the Bears.
Yeah, that's what they decided. How do you feel for that rookie who forgot to tackle him? He was going for the feet.
He didn't forget to.
Well, he said he was trying to get him at the legs instead of the body. And sometimes it doesn't work out. But Diggs, of course, I mean, he was in shock, and he had tears in his eyes.
Since I first got here, I never stopped working. Today was when all the work paid off. And, God put me in a position, and I just try to take advantage of my opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what, I love his theme music, too, that accompanies him wherever he is.
Yeah, that follows him around everywhere. But he thanked God for the blessings in his life. And I love, 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 love when athletes do that.
And here's the little advice for that rookie cornerback for the Saints.
Yeah.
You want to go for the legs. I mean, he missed the legs by 4 feet because his head was down. You want to go for the legs. Look at what you're trying to tackle. Case Keenum, Minnesota's quarterback, also tweeted out, third best moment in his life.
Well, giving birth. Does he have kids yet?
Giving his life to Jesus Christ, number 1.
Awesome.
Marrying his wife, number 2. Last second game-winning touchdown, sending the Vikings to the NFC Championship game, number 3. Now,
I
don't want to create controversy or a quibble with Case Keenum in his moment, but
you're being a homewrecker. Yes.
I would say that passing Timmy Chang for most passing yards in NCAA history would be number 2. And then the touchdown yesterday, 3, and then the wife, maybe 4.
Oh, my gosh. You can't bump her down. Hey, honey, about that tweet, I've reconsidered. And you're number 4 now. It's not bad. You're still top 5.
After that performance yesterday, he doesn't have to pander to his wife. He doesn't have to pander to anybody.
He loves God and he loves his family.
He loves
football and he's really good at it. And I can't wait for them to beat Philadelphia this weekend.
And my beloved Steelers lost, of course, because one, their defense is a little suspect at 45 points at home. Number 2, Mike Tomlin's 4th down calls, 4th and short calls, 2 of them. You know, Ben Roethlisberger this year was 17 for 18 on 4th and short when it was just a QB keeper, a quarterback sneak.
Really?
And they go wide, and then they throw a 15-yard square out. What the hell? The hell, Tomlin? Nice job. Way to ruin my weekend.
Are you demanding his resignation?
No, like Vikings, Minnesota. They have Garrison Keillor. They lost to Al Franken. It's been a tough season. Then they get this. It's been a tough season for me too, and I don't get a playoff victory.
Well, if they win the NFC Championship and go to the Super Bowl, they don't have to go far because it's in their hometown.
Yeah, great. They can lose to the Patriots at home. Big deal.
My son asked me yesterday. Eli said, "Mom, when are the Patriots going to stink? When is that coming?" I said, "You know what, son? Growing up, it was always the Steelers and the Cowboys. We just waited for the Bears' turn." And waited, but sometimes you have to wait a while.
Yeah,
I don't know if
waiting for the Bears' turn. You continue. You think 33 years has been a while. Think Cubs.
Well, the Vikings have never been to a Super Bowl. The Eagles have never been.
The Vikings have never been to a Super Bowl. They've been to.
I've never won the Super Bowl.
They've won 5.
No,
Super
won
Bowls,
the Super Bowl.
Right?
No, they've never won the Super
4
Bowl. The
Super
Eagles
Bowls.
have never won.
Yes,
the
they've
Super
been
Bowl,
to
and the
Super Bowl.
Jacksonville Jaguars have never won a Super Bowl.
Yes.
But they're a new franchise. Fairly new.
And all 3 of those teams will still be able to say they've never won a Super Bowl after the first Sunday in February. That's the problem. Good grief! All right, we gotta get a little Keith Jackson. How about a little Keith Jackson memory lane? I mean, 60 years of broadcasting, and then we lost to Genber. We lose Keith Jackson. How about a little Keith Jackson remembrances? He was a colorful guy.
When the last glow drifts away from the big house at Michigan, it's a good time to have a seat and listen. Hear Yost, Kipke, Weissler, and in your mind's eye see the lads who wore the colors. Harmon, who played both ways all the way to a Heisman Trophy and got a standing ovation once at the Horseshoe. The Michigan football team is within sight of the summit of their mountain. Their journey inspiration in part from those who have climbed the world's highest mountain. But when you venture into the biggest house in football, you better come prepared lest ye perish at the hands of the big burly resident. For this is a house of history, a house of pride and tradition.
Yeah,
you got me all fired
the big
up
house.
now.
The Big House was one of Keith Jacksonism, calling Ann Arbor the Big House.
Yeah, that's right. But also his key phrases, whoa, Nelly. And he got that from?
Oh, Nelly came from my great-grandpa. He was a farmer. He was a whistler, one of these guys. He was always working and always busy, and he really didn't whistle. He just kind of one of those, you know. And then he would do something or drop something or whatever, and oftentimes you'd hear him say, "Whoa, Nelly! Whoa, Nelly!" That kind of stuff, and it's kind of stuck to the little scruffy kid following him around. And
oh my!
Connect with Dan and Amy using the AM560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
I think it's when Dick Enberg died of a heart attack, he had his bags packed, and he was waiting for a driver to take him to the airport. So he was packed bags and ready to go. And he went on a different journey
What
than
a
planned.
metaphor.
I know. Oh, I thought that was sweet. Good way to go. Colder today, as you can see. Snow anywhere from 2 to 4 inches before it's all said and done. We have a winter weather advisory in effect until noon. And it's pretty slick out there and slippery, so be careful. A high of 27 tonight. A new round of snow showers, anywhere from 2 to 4 inches. And then tomorrow we're going to wake up with cold conditions, snow and flurries, a high of 24 degrees. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. I know a lot of people are off work today, but it's still just a daunting task on the roadways. Jim? Uh-oh, Jim. Oh, no. Jim's not there because he's doing something else right now.
Sorry about that, Amy. I'm here. Just getting an updated look at our flight boards here. And we have about the same number of cancellations at each airport, about 40. And delays range from mostly about 15, 20 minutes. On the CTA Red Line, trains are stopped on the northbound or Howard-bound side of Chinatown. There's a mechanical problem. It's slow and snowy on I-80, especially west of the Tri-State. And there's a crash at Francis Road causing delays. Southbound 53, a little heavy approaching Beesterfield with a crash. The northbound Tri-State is heavy. Plainfield Road to the Hinsdale Oasis with a crash just reported. Eden's 26 minutes, Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 40. Collision at Dempster in the left lane. Kennedy, 40 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, outbound 38. The Ike, 46 minutes, 390 to the Circle, outbound 35. Stevenson, 52 minutes, 355 to the Drive, outbound 40. The Ryan is just 18 minutes, 95th to the Loop. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Upstream-ideas.com, premium content that complements what we do each morning on this show. I wish I could say this with that Keith Jackson voice. Long-form interviews in our Against the Current series. Whoa, Nelly. This week, still featuring Zach Model.
Oh, my.
Fourth-generation manufacturing family, Atlas Toolworks and Lyons, talking about manufacturing in this state and the policy changes that would need to happen for us to enjoy the renaissance in manufacturing that our neighboring Midwestern states are currently enjoying. 60 seconds of sanity commentaries from yours truly this week on Oprah for President. 2-minute warnings from Pat Hughes at Illinois Opportunity Project. Podcasts of our Illinois Rising program covering state policy and politics. And our series Heart of the Matter features professional women speaking collegially about the important issues of the day. This week, when does the Me Too reckoning come to Illinois state government, come to Springfield? And then don't forget our sister site, defendhomeowners.com. Defendhomeowners.com. Get a free property tax report on your home and be able to, you can go there to download a petition to help us get the signatures we need for a ballot question on the 2018 ballot. Referendum question on the 2018 ballot that would seek to change how Illinois does property taxation to mirror Indiana's return your home equity to you in the process. How confiscatory are property tax in Illinois? You have Oak Park socialists revolting against them. That's how confiscatory. All the property tax info at defendhomeowners.com. Everything else, upstream-ideas.com.
I manage a construction site. And the other morning, we had to send half of the crew home because of missing equipment. This nonsense is cutting into my time and budget.
Here's what you need to know.
Alarm Detection Systems offers mobile security solutions that expand with your project. Visit adsalarm.com or call 630-844-6300 to find out about our alarm and video protection. License number 127000143.
My daughter started school, and I find myself worrying if she is getting home safe while I'm still at work. I wish I could check up on her.
Alarm Detection Systems offers remote control of your security system from your phone. Get text or video alerts when someone's at your door. ADS is an authorized Honeywell equipment dealer. Visit adsalarm.com or call 630-844-6300. Alarm license number 127000143.
Hey, Butch, all I ever see you eat is raw meat, whiskey, and an occasional bowl of rusty nails. Now, I know you're tough, but with your diet, what's your secret to avoiding the flu?
Jim, this is between us. You hear?
Sure, Butch, you can trust me.
Well, I take Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies. I take them on the go or under the table when no one's looking. It's the only way I'd ever get over 10 real servings of fruits and vegetables.
Is it like a vitamin or something?
No, it's food. They only use real whole ingredients. Not that isolated or synthetic crap you get with all the other guys. This is real stuff, Jim. Real stuff. They sell direct to consumers and ship right to your door, free of charge.
Well, Buckaroo, how do I get them?
Call them at 1-800-2468-751. Write it down, Jim, before someone sees me. It's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code WAGON for a special offer.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Bob Aument, a founding partner of the law firm of Dassman and Aument and longtime personal customer of Signature Bank. Our firm recently left one of the larger banks to bank with Signature Bank, and it's been a refreshing change. With Signature Bank, we've been able to tailor banking solutions that fit the specific needs of our firm. Beyond that, Signature Bank is responsive, efficient, and timely in meeting those needs. If I have a request, I pick up the phone and talk to Mick O'Rourke, not someone at a phone bank thousands of miles away. Dassman and Aument needed more than what the larger banks offer, and we found that with Signature Bank.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Welcome to our Martin Luther King Day edition. We've spoken about King early in the 6 o'clock hour and played some memories from his speeches, talked a little bit about the state of race relations nearly 50 years after his assassination. We're going to talk to Walter Williams more about that at 7:37, so you want to stay tuned for that. But we got a couple of important candidate announcements, Amy.
Who do you want to start with?
Martha,
which lady?
Martha McSally, Original Equipment. Let's start there.
Oh. Okay.
Martha McSally, of course, the fighter pilot / Congresswoman from Arizona, has announced she's running for the Senate seat being vacated by Jeff Flake, much to the chagrin of Amy's best friend, Sheriff Joe Arpaio. Here's her announcement video. She's got a message for her colleagues. Wait for it.
26 years in uniform. She's taken the fight to the enemy and the establishment.
The U.S. Air Force decided Martha McSally had the right stuff, the first female pilot to fly in combat. Colonel McSally is not afraid of a good fight. She has launched a one-woman campaign against a military policy in Saudi Arabia that forced her to wear a long black Islamic robe over her Air Force uniform.
I absolutely refuse to bow down to Sharia law. After 8 years of fighting, I won my battle for the religious freedom of American servicewomen. Now I'm deployed to D.C. to fight for Arizona, supporting our troops and saving the A-10, protecting Arizona jobs, and securing the border.
My friend, Martha McSally, she's the real deal. She's tough.
Like our president, I'm tired of PC politicians and their BS excuses. I'm a fighter pilot, and I talk like one. That's why I told Washington Republicans to grow a pair of ovaries and get the job done. Now I'm running for the Senate to fight the fights that must be won on national security, economic security, and border security. After taking on terrorists in combat, the liberals in the Senate won't scare me one bit.
Patriot, warrior, leader. Martha McSally, for United States Senate.
In response to that challenge to grow a pair of ovaries.
Ovaries.
Yeah, ovaries. Chelsea Manning asked, "Is it okay if I have them transplanted in?" Because she's also running for U.S. Senate.
Yeah, and
excuse me. He is
No,
also running for
she-
U.S. Senate. No,
she got the operation done.
Did
The naughty bits are gone.
what about the Y chromosome?
I don't. She's working on that.
So is it XX or XY?
I don't know, but she's going
Yeah.
against incumbent Democrat Ben Cardin.
He is going against.
She.
He is going
Well,
against
it
Ben
says
Cardin.
she.
Well, I don't care what it says.
So, I mean, the thing is, Manning was infamously convicted for passing along a massive trove of documents to WikiLeaks, and President Obama commuted most of him's sentence.
Oh, the good news is, for those of you wondering, hey, can a convicted felon run for U.S. Senate? Yes, he can. A felony conviction, which
Yes.
Manning has, no bar to him running for Senate.
Well, I mean, could you vote for someone who illegally released confidential military documents?
How about someone who's running on an F the police platform? That's
Well,
what.
Manny
that's-
tweeted the F the
yeah.
police on Law Enforcement Appreciation Day.
Guess he doesn't appreciate them.
But listen to this ad, because when I heard it, I thought, oh, is she going to run as a Republican? But she's running. Shim is running as a Democrat, but bashing the Democratic Party.
I'm Chelsea Manning, and I approve this message.
We live in trying times. Times of fear. Of suppression. Of hate. We don't need more or better leaders. We need someone willing to fight. We need to stop asking them to give us our rights. They won't support us. They won't compromise. We need to stop expecting that our systems will somehow fix themselves. We need to actually take the reins of power from them. We need to challenge them at every level. We need to fix this. We don't need them anymore. We can do better.
You're damn right we got this.
And she's wearing a fetching leather jacket, walking through, the rough part of town in Baltimore. But there's images of Democratic politicians and Republican politicians. So really, she should be running as an independent.
Notwithstanding Martha Sally's kind of, cheap rhetoric and flacking for a local government contractor to save the A-10. That's not particularly anti-establishment. Notwithstanding that, could you better crystallize the paths the two parties are currently on? Martha McSally for Republicans and this dude Chelsea in Maryland for Democrats, who tweeted out F the police, also tweeted out part of his platform, apparently, for his Senate campaign, abolish ICE.
A what?
Abolish ICE.
Oh.
ICE is literally the new Gestapo, tweeted Chelsea Manning, convicted felon. Oh, yeah, just to remind you about that. Taxpayer-funded gender reassignment surgery. Forgot to remind you about that.
And hormone replacement. That's not cheap either.
I mean, it's just, what a great juxtaposition. Martha McSally and Chelsea Manning announcing their respective candidates for Senate. There's a sort of great proxies for the choice between the two parties and the choice between the two paths for America. One, a patriotic path that's reflective of foundational values, and the other, cultural Marxism. Your choice.
Hear about the big stories of the day, then talk about them right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
A storm is on the horizon, and you need to keep the lights on no matter what. Your business relies on the power being on 24/7. It's the lifeblood of your data and computer systems. Weather-related outages from the power company are not acceptable. Your need for a source of power that's reliable 24/7, along with round-the-clock service that can dispatch technicians to your site immediately, is mission critical. Your business needs Charles Equipment Energy Systems on speed dial. These are the big boys, not residential or solar, but reliable industrial generators for emergency backup or events. When you need more than a 100-foot extension cord plugged into a small engine generator, call Charles Equipment Energy Systems. They keep the lights on with rental generators for job sites or power outages. Stay warm this winter. Plan ahead. Call now to prepare generators for winter storms and potential power outages. Call 630-834-6000. That's 630-834-6000 or charlesequipment.com. charlesequipment.com. Famous conservative quotes. Presented by Automated Systems.
Ronald Reagan, considered by many the founder of modern conservatism, said, "Without God, democracy will not and cannot long endure." What a perfect connection between faith and America.
I know you support companies that share your conservative values. For FDA-regulated staffing needs, Automated Systems provides top talent, from experienced quality control and quality assurance engineers to top validation and compliance experts. Depend on Automated Systems. Hiring the best is critical to success. ASI Resources are all degreed professionals with decades of experience in manufacturing, automation, and FDA compliance. That's why ASI is retained by all of Chicagoland's Fortune 500 life science companies to successful startups. For a staffing evaluation, call Laz at Automated Systems, toll-free 844-HIRE-ASI, or visit automatedsys.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
His Eminence, the great one in the field of economics, with all apologies to Mark Levin, Walter Williams, economics professor at George Mason University and syndicated columnist, joins us to talk Martin Luther King, as well as the state of race relations in 2018 America. That's at 7:37.
And later, Alan Dershowitz will be here. That's always fun, at 8:38. But first, let's go into the newsroom and say good morning to Mike Scott.
Amy and Dan, good morning. 20 degrees, light snow showers. Some spots out to the west have already seen over 4 inches of snow. President Donald Trump denying accusations he is racially motivated after reports that he made vulgar remarks about some residents of Haiti, El Salvador, and some countries in Africa. The president reportedly made the crude and profane comments during an immigration policy discussion, but Georgia Senator David Perdue, who was in that discussion, says it is a gross misrepresentation.
Language was used in there that was not used, and also that the tone of that meeting was not contributory and not constructive.
Perdue on ABC's This Week. A Hawaii congresswoman says a false ballistic missile warning was unacceptable and points to the need, she says, for President Trump to negotiate directly with North Korea.
These processes failed so epically that caused this trauma, that caused this terror, must be fixed immediately, and those responsible for this happening need to be held accountable.
And the person apparently who is being held accountable is a state employee who broadcast that false message and has been reassigned. 50 are safe after they had to jump off a flaming ferry boat into the frigid waters of the Florida Gulf Coast. They were being shuttled to a casino ship yesterday when the fire broke out. The death toll continues to climb in the Southern California mudslides, where reporter Steve Patterson has more on the search and recovery effort.
20 people now confirmed dead. 25-year-old Morgan Corey's name added to the toll, joining her 12-year-old sister Sawyer amongst those killed in this disaster.
The list of people missing is now down to 4. Pope Francis on his way to Latin America. The Pope leaving the Vatican today for a 7-day trip to visit Chile and Peru. Authorities continue the search for a person of interest following a deadly shooting over the weekend outside of a shopping mall in North Riverside. Investigators believe that shooting was domestic in nature. A man and woman are wounded following a shooting in McHenry overnight. Health officials are warning several travelers at O'Hare about a person who may have exposed them to the measles last week. The Illinois Department of Public Health says a passenger infected with the contagious disease arrived Wednesday on an international flight at Terminal 5 and departed from a domestic terminal in Terminal 1 between 6:30 a.m. and 1 p.m. The Bulls welcoming the red-hot Heat to the UC this afternoon on Martin Luther King Day. Red Wings beat the Blackhawks 4-0. Tonight in the Big Ten, On the college hardwood, it's the Fighting Illini going for their first Big Ten win at Nebraska. The news service of Accountemps, finding highly skilled accounting and finance professionals can be a challenge. Accountemps can help. With Accountemps' extensive network of accounting and finance contractors, you can be sure to find the right person for your exact hiring needs. Visit Accountemps.com to learn more. Accountemps, a Robert Half company. 7:33, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
It's really cold at this time of the year.
The Joe Walsh Show.
A very nice man in Elgin decided to take in homeless people into his basement to get them out of the cold. And wouldn't you know it, the city government told him to cease and desist. Something about municipal regulations or whatever.
The Joe Walsh Show. Weeknights starting at 5. Right after Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Big government sucks.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas, best beans, best roast, best coffee.
My name is David Hochberg, Vice President Lending at Pearl Mortgage. If you're looking to secure financing on a new home or refinance your existing home, give me a call. According to creditcard.com, cardholders in Illinois, Indiana, Wisconsin, and Michigan are carrying over $33,000 of debt on their credit cards. The Federal Reserve recently increased the interest rates 1/4 point, which, according to credit enhancement expert Gary Novell, will increase the average credit card holder's interest payments $825 a year. The good news is home values have rebounded, so now is an excellent time to use your home's equity to eliminate your stress, pay off credit card debt, and lower your monthly payments. To see if you can use your home's equity to pay off your debt, give me a call now at 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. I've helped thousands of AM560 listeners, but I can't help if you don't call 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Pearl Mortgage, an equal housing lender, Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee 4358 and MLS 19186.
7:35. Let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. We're seeing delays on southbound 53 Higgins to Beesterfield with a crash, and northbound it's heavy from 390 to Beesterfield. Northbound Veterans Memorial now stop and go from Butterfield to Roosevelt. Delays on the eastbound Adams Tollway 59 to Higgins and Hoffman Estates after a collision. Eden's inbound runs 22 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose outbound 35. The crash at Dempster still blocking a left lane. Kennedy, 40 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, about 44. Eisenhower, 43 minutes from 390 to the Circle, 24 from Manheim, outbound 35 minutes to 390. Stevenson, 52 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 40. It's slow and snowy south of 53. And in fact, at 53 on the southbound side, there's now a 4-car collision in the left lane. Ryan, just 18 minutes, 95th to the Loop. Northwest Indiana's okay. And traffic is a service of Indeed.com. Indeed used by over 3 million businesses for hiring, where business owners and HR professionals can post job openings with screener questions, then sort, review, and communicate with candidates from an online dashboard. Learn more at Indeed.com/hire. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Colder today, bit of snow, high 24. We could total up 2 to 5 inches of snow when it's all told later on tonight with a low of 10 and a high of 24 tomorrow. Currently 20 degrees at O'Hare. Next news coming up at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Listen to AM 560 on your mobile device. Now available on iHeartRadio. Online at iHeartRadio.com.
You want more than just the headlines? Find out what's going on and what it means with me, Dennis Prager, this morning at 11, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Of course, memorializing Martin Luther King's birthday today, this 2018, a couple months away from the 50th anniversary of his assassination, April 4th, 1968. And so I can't play some of these clips enough. They're just so great. Who talks like this anymore? I wish more people did. Martin Luther King, in one of my favorite speeches, the street sweeper speech that he gave here in Chicago, New Covenant Church, about almost exactly a year before his assassination.
What I'm saying to you this morning, my friend, even if it falls your lot to be a street sweeper, go on out and sweep streets like Michelangelo painted pictures. Sweep streets like Handel and Beethoven composed music. Sweep streets like Shakespeare wrote poetry. Sweep streets so well that all the hosts of heaven and earth will have to pause and say, here lived a great street sweeper who swept his job well. If you can't be a pine on the top of the hill, be a scrub in the valley, but be the best little scrub on the side of the rill. Be a bush if you can't be a tree. If you can't be a highway, just be a trail. If you can't be the sun, be a star. It isn't by size that you win or you fail. Be the best of whatever you are.
I mean, he writes poetry like Shakespeare. In addition to that, just this other clip, because I think it's relevant to our discussion today. This is the speech he gave at the Mason Temple in Memphis the night before he was assassinated. It was a rather prophetic speech. This is the On the Mountaintop speech. I'm not going to play that part. But the part in the beginning where he essentially holds America's stated values up for display and says, are people living up to these values as enshrined in our founding documents? Of course, the answer was no. But can we do that today? Can we honestly do the mirror test that Martin Luther King put to us in 1968?
All we say to America is be true to what you said on paper. If I lived in China or even Russia or any totalitarian country, maybe I could understand some of these illegal injunctions. Maybe I could understand the denial of certain basic First Amendment privileges because they haven't committed themselves to that over there. But somewhere I read of the freedom of assembly. Somewhere I read of the freedom of speech. Somewhere I read of the freedom of press. Somewhere I read that the greatness of America is the right to protest far right.
Now we're pleased to be joined by somebody who was there, generally speaking, during that period. He is another great, the great Walter Williams, His Eminence of Economics at George Mason University. Professor Williams, thanks again for joining us. Appreciate it.
Good morning.
Morning. And so some of your contemporaries opined on the occasion of Martin Luther King's birthday today, and one of them is Shelby Steele, who had a piece in the Wall Street Journal over the weekend, and he said this, the oppression of black people is over with. This is politically incorrect news, but it's true nonetheless. We blacks are today a free people. It's as if freedom sneaked up and caught us by surprise. He goes on to say, we can say that past oppression left us unprepared for freedom. This is certainly true, but it's no consolation. Freedom is just freedom. It's a condition, not an agent of change. It doesn't develop or uplift those who win it. Freedom holds us accountable no matter the disadvantages we inherit from the past. Is Shelby Steele right about that?
I think he's absolutely right, and that's something I've said for years, that the civil rights struggle for black Americans in our country is over, and it has been won. That is, at one time, black Americans did not have the constitutional guarantees of everybody else in our country. Today, we do. Now, because the civil rights struggle is over and won, that does not mean that there are not major problems confronting the black community, such as education, crime, and family breakdown. These are major problems, but they're not civil rights problems. That is, they will not be solved by using civil rights strategies. That is, if you can sing "We Shall Overcome" all you want, but if blacks are murdering each other, as they are doing in great numbers in your country, in your city, and getting a fraudulent education, a grossly fraudulent education, where the average black 12th grader, he can read and write at the level of the average white 6th or 7th or 8th grader. Now, that's a major problem, but it's not a civil rights problem. That is, you take city of Baltimore. That's a city that's run. The blacks blacks have been mayors, chief of police, superintendent of schools, most of the members on the city council, but yet this fraudulent education goes on, and that's true in many cities. But it's not civil rights problems. It doesn't have anything to do with racial discrimination, and so I think that Dr. King's legacy, his battle that he fought, it's over and won, but we still have major problems that remain.
What do you think Martin Luther King Jr. would think of the Black Lives Matter movement and of Antifa?
Well, I think he would look at it with a great disgust. That is, he was a man of peace. He was against the advocation of violence. And matter of fact, during his life, he had an ongoing battle with the black Muslims because they were more for using violence and confrontation. So I think that yes, he would be against the Antifa and Black Lives Matters.
And Bob Woodson, another contemporary writing in The Hill about how to truly honor the legacy of Dr. King, says, among other things, the noble struggle for equal rights has morphed into a race grievance industry. I think that's a little bit what you're speaking of. And the sad thing, it seems to me, is it even afflicts some actual heroes of the civil rights movement, like Congressman John Lewis from Georgia, who's bought into the race grievance industry, as Bob Woodson describes it.
That is absolutely right. And if we continue to look at them as racial discrimination problems, the problems are going to remain forever. That is, the very fact that 75% of black births are births out of wedlock, which is devastating to the black family structure and black welfare. If you're going to consider that a civil rights problem, well, the problem's going to exist forever. If you're going to, the black people in Chicago and many other cities, they're not putting bars at their windows, huddled in their homes at night. They're not afraid of the Ku Klux Klan riding through, and so, but they're afraid of other black people. So if you say, well, gee, we have to somehow do something about the Ku Klux Klan, well, black people are going to be endangered forever.
Well, we all, aspire for racial harmony, but when President Trump makes the comments about people coming from blank hole countries, does that take us a step back, or where does that leave us?
Well, that's the president. If I were the president, I wouldn't use such language. But the point that he's making, if you ask the question about people coming to our country illegally, just ask yourself the question: how many Norwegians are in our country illegally and crowding up our jails? How many people from Finland? How many people from New Zealand? Those people coming to our country are not our problem. The people who are coming from South America, Latin America, and Africa and the Middle East, those people are our problems. Now, the president could have used different language, but he was surely right on the spot when he's talking about the kind of people who we're admitting into our country who are causing us major problems. Now, it's not politically correct to talk the way I am, but it's factual. That is, I've asked you, how many, and I gave the case of Norwegians, Finns, and New Zealanders, and others, how many of them causing problems, burdening our welfare system?
And the point that I think you're getting to, and that President Trump was trying to get to, is the point about a merit-based immigration system. It's not that we would exclude people from Haiti or El Salvador or Sub-Saharan Africa or anywhere else. But the question is, what's the standard by which we're admitting people regardless of their country of origin? And the standard should be merit-based. They're going to contribute to this country as opposed to being a detriment to this country in some material way, right?
That is absolutely right. And the problem is made even worse by politicians in our country setting up sanctuary cities for people who are in our country illegally. If you ask them, I think somebody should ask the mayor of Chicago, Would he set up a sanctuary city for shoplifters, sanctuary cities for car thieves? And if somebody's they stole a car or they shoplift, just pay some kind of fine and be on their way. And we'll take care of them anyway.
Is it your experience, since you've lived through some terrible periods in our country's history in a way that I certainly haven't, is your experience that once you get beyond the politicians demagoguing identity politics, whether it's based on race or gender, that in terms of the actual interaction between human beings on a daily basis, things are actually pretty good, racial harmony wise, but not that you don't have some bad actors and racists. Of course you do. You always will. But things are generally pretty good, much different than they were 50 years ago, and there should be some recognition of that. And people shouldn't be falling for the siren song of political demagogues who want to score points for themselves by fanning these flames.
I think you're absolutely right. My next birthday, which will be in March, I'll be 82 years old, and I have lived through. And when I was in the Army, I was sent down to Georgia. I'd lived through a lot of the discrimination. But one of the things that we Americans do not appreciate is that the great progress that Black Americans have made. Now, for example, that if you just added up the income that Black Americans earn each year, and just thought of us as an independent country with our own GDP, Black Americans would constitute the 16th or 17th richest country on the face of the earth. There are some Black people who make a lot of money, millionaires. Many Blacks are some of the world's most famous personality, and it was a Black in the name of Colin Powell that headed the world's mightiest military. Now, the significance of all this is that in 1865, neither a slave nor a slave owner would have believed that this kind of progress would be possible in a mere 100 years or so. And as such, it speaks to the intestinal fortitude of a people, but just as importantly, it speaks to the greatness of a nation. That is, those kind of achievements that Black Americans have made could not have been achieved anywhere else on the face of the earth. Now, the problem that remains is how can we get 30 or 35% of Black Americans for whom these gains have been elusive, how can we bring them into the mainstream American society? And that's the big question, and we won't get at it. We won't reach a solution by looking at racial discrimination.
He is Walter Williams, the great professor of economics at George Mason University, also nationally syndicated columnist. The website, again, for your musings, Professor Williams, is?
It's WalterEWilliams.com, WalterEWilliams.com.
Professor Williams, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
And thank you for inviting me. Bye.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
It's news, opinion, insight. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
This is awesome. Forecast. Not so awesome. There's some snow, about 2 to 3 inches, but we are under a winter weather advisory until noon today. Temperatures about 27 degrees for a high. Tonight, a new round of snowfall, anywhere from 2 to 4 inches, and then tomorrow morning when you wake up, that fresh snow will be on the ground, and then we'll have some snow and flurries mainly later Tuesday afternoon, a high of 24 degrees. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Thank goodness not a lot of people are going to work today, but there's still some trouble on the roadways. Here's Jim Telemonte.
Absolutely, Amy. Normally, a day like this, traffic is much lighter than usual. Now, depending on where you are, it's either a little bit lighter or, in some cases, not much lighter at all. Seeing pretty heavy delays on the eastbound Reagan Tollway from the Aurora Toll Plaza to 59. A little heavy near Midwest, where an earlier crash is gone. Northbound Tri-State slow from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. Adams Tollway heavy, 59 to Higgins after a crash. The Veterans Memorial has delays northbound from Butterfield to Roosevelt Army Trail to 290. 53 has delays in both directions due to a southbound crash at Biesterfield. I-80 speeds are severely reduced due to the snow, and it's very slow in both directions near Cherry Hill Road. Eden's 22 minutes, Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 35. Kennedy looking at about 40 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, outbound 44. The Ike 43 minutes, 390 to the Loop, outbound now 49 minutes. On the Stevenson, 52 minutes, 355 to the Drive. Ryan is 18 minutes 95th to downtown. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Upstream-ideas.com, premium content that enhances what we do each morning on this show. Long-form interviews in our Against the Current series this week. Still featuring Zach Model talking about manufacturing, fourth-generation manufacturing family here in West Suburban Cook County in Lyons, 100-year company. What can we do here to enjoy the manufacturing renaissance and the wealth production associated with it that our Midwest neighbors are currently enjoying? Probably switch some people out of office, switch some new people in. That'd be a start. Then you get the policies. That's Against the Current. 60 Seconds of Sanity from yours truly. 2-minute warnings from Pat Hughes at Illinois Opportunity Project. Podcast of our Illinois Rising program covering state policy and politics. And again, our Heart of the Matter series featuring professional women speaking collegially about the important issues of the day. One of them, when does the Me Too reckoning come to Springfield? That's the discussion on the latest episode. And then don't forget our sister site, defendhomeowners.com. Defendhomeowners.com. Get a free property tax report on your home. Download a petition to help us get signatures for an advisory question on the 2018 ballot to change Illinois' property tax system and reduce your property taxes, return your home equity. How bad are property taxes in Illinois? Socialists in Oak Park are organizing community groups to protest them. That's how bad. All the property tax info at defendhomeowners.com. Everything else, upstream-ideas.com.
Get up and go. It's Apple Vacation's great winter event. Non-stop fun, adventure, sun-soaked beaches. Escape to your favorite tropical destination. It's all available now. Save hundreds. But hurry, the best hotels and prices won't last. 7 nights in Ixtapa at Crystal Ixtapa start from only $10.79. Or make it a full week in Huatulco at Park Royal Huatulco starting from just $11.49. Both escapes include round-trip nonstop air, resort transfers, all meals, drinks, and taxes. Call Carry Travel Express at 847-639-3300 or visit carrytravelexpress.com to book your trip today. Prices per person based on double occupancy for select exclusive vacation flights from O'Hare to Ixtapa on Valeris starting February 18th or to Huatulco on Valeris starting January 27th and include taxes and fees including September 11th security fee. Some flights are operated by other airlines. Baggage charges apply. See applevacations.com. Prices subject to availability and change. Restrictions apply.
Relying on checking your credit to help protect you from identity theft? You're kind of walking through life with blinders on.
Parking meter. That came out of nowhere.
Because there are many kinds of identity theft you can still get blindsided by.
Bike messenger. Didn't see him coming.
Like someone getting an online payday loan in your name or selling your personal information on the dark web.
Open manhole. That snuck up on me.
LifeLock sees more. We use proprietary technology to detect a range of identity threats. And if you have a problem, a US-based identity restoration specialist will work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses, but LifeLock can spot threats you might not see coming.
Horse-drawn carriage. Sheesh.
Memberships start at $9.99 a month plus applicable taxes. Now get 10% off. Go to lifelock.com and enter promo code NEWS. That's promo code NEWS. LifeLock. More detection, more protection.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I'm Mark Gastineau. I played in the NFL for 10 years. I was diagnosed with CTE, with dementia, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's. The fruits and vegetables that we take from Balance of Nature is the best thing that we could ever do. And I'm calling in now to order extra because of my wife has been taking mine because she sees a difference in me. It is a wonderful thing that Balance of Nature is doing. I hear the testimonies on the radio, but I'm a testimony for myself. And the fruits and vegetables, if I don't take them every single day, my day is not going to go the same. So God bless you, and thank you for what you've done for my wife and I.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Hi, Barry Sterner, founder of your #1 home mortgage lender, Townstone Financial. I continue to get calls and emails from homeowners whose interest rates are above 4%. Please do yourself a favor. Take 1 minute. Dial 312-896-2111 or go to townstone.com and let us give you some no closing cost refinance options today. No closing costs means no hidden costs. I guarantee it, and I own the company. Remember, you don't have to restart your mortgage at 30 years or 15. We can customize the payback period. Also, if your home is worth less than what you owe, we still have the Government HARP program, which will allow you to refinance and save money. And anyone who has an FHA mortgage or one with private mortgage insurance definitely needs to call me now so we can lower your monthly mortgage payments due to the recent increase in home values. The call is free and so is my time, so dial 312-896-2111. That's 312-896-2111 or go to townstone.com. That's TOWNSTONE.com. Townstone Financial is an Illinois mortgage licensee 6629 and MLS 136639, equal housing lender.
If you have pain, listen up. Dennis Prager here. You don't need to live in pain. Let me repeat that. You don't have to live in pain. Chronic pain is the worst, whether it's from an accident or pain that just develops. So, Chicagoland, you're in luck. Dr. Ken Candido is one of the nation's most respected and successful pain doctors. He's been voted one of Chicago's best pain doctors several times. Bottom line, he's the pain doctor you need. Dr. Candido of Chicago Anesthesia and Pain Specialists will help you get off pain medication and all of its side effects. How? By finding the source of your chronic pain and fixing it.
This is Ken Candido of Chicago Anesthesia Pain Specialists. Let's make you pain-free.
Call Dr. Ken Candido and make an appointment with a cutting-edge, respected, and successful pain physician. Go to mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com. Thousands have been helped with their chronic pain, and you can be the next one. Get the phone number and all the info you need at mypainchicago.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, don't touch this.
Yeah, who knew that Johnny from Airplane was the head of the Hawaii Emergency Management Association?
Just kidding.
We'll start there, but first let's go to the newsroom. We're smiling, very happy, very perky this morning, Mike Scott.
Snow showers could cause some slippery roads around Chicagoland. Jim Talamonte has your traffic forecast in just a moment. A passenger with measles may have exposed others at O'Hare. A gubernatorial candidate wants Illinois out of dirty energy. WIND Chicago News Time is 8 o'clock.
My standard is very simple. America first. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what President Trump tweeted the morning after saying he is not a racist.
Telling reporters in Florida last night that he's the least racist person they've ever interviewed.
Fox's Griff Jenkins. Many Democrats claim the president is racist for referring to African nations as S-hole countries at an immigration meeting last week, though some Republicans in the room at the time claim the president did not say that.
This is a deadline for a DACA deal tied to the spending bill is fast approaching, and the president is blaming Democrats for failing to deliver.
The president's demanding border wall funding be included in a DACA deal to protect some immigrants brought to the U.S. illegally. Democrats insist DACA be included in any bill to keep the government funded beyond Friday. He's been reassigned, but not fired. The Hawaiian worker who made a scary mistake that sent people panicking. Fox's Tanya J. Powers has more live.
Dave, that error sparked panic with some drivers abandoning their cars on a highway and taking shelter in a tunnel. And the 911 system on Oahu was overwhelmed with more than 5,000 calls. FCC Chairman Ajit Pai called Saturday's mistake human error this morning on Fox and Friends. He also said while an investigation is underway, they're also working to make sure that alert system is more efficient.
Part of the issue that we're looking at is, are there any steps that we need to take, federal, state officials working together to make sure that something like this doesn't happen again?
A two-person alert protocol has now been put in place, and steps have been taken to make it easier to cancel a false alarm. Dave.
Tanya, a boat fire off Florida's Gulf Coast is now a fatal accident. One of the passengers who jumped off to escape the flames died at a hospital.
Two of my officers jumped in the water to assist the people that were jumping off the boat while it was on fire.
Port Richey Police Chief Gerard DeCanio, 14 others suffered minor injuries. The boat was a shuttle taking people to a casino ship offshore. The search for 4 missing people in mud-caked Montecito, California, no longer a hunt for survivors. It's now considered a recovery mission. 20 others were killed in last week's flooding and landslides. Fox News, fair and balanced.
Skies are cloudy. Snow showers continue. It's 20 degrees, a wind chill of 4 above. 8:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Be careful. A winter weather advisory is in effect until noontime. Authorities are searching for a person of interest following a deadly shooting over the weekend. It happened outside of a shopping mall in North Riverside. Maria Ruiz and a 14-year-old girl were shot Saturday night in the parking lot of the North Riverside Park Mall. Investigators believe that shooting was domestic in nature. A man and woman are wounded following a shooting overnight in McHenry. It happened in the 5100 block of Home Avenue. Both were taken to the hospital where their conditions are not known. Health officials are warning people about a person who may have exposed other travelers to the measles at O'Hare last week. It happened after an international flight arrived at Terminal 5 around 6:30. That person may have departed on a domestic flight from Terminal 1 just before 1 p.m. One of the Democrats running for governor in the state wants to get the state's money out of what he calls dirty energy. State Senator Dan Biss telling a crowd in Champaign he wants Illinois to divest of any pension investments and get the investments out of non-green energy companies. Bulls welcome the Heat to the United Center this afternoon on ML King Day. Red Wings beat the Blackhawks 4-0. Last night in the Missouri Valley, Loyola beat Bradley and SIU pulled past Illinois State. The news service of Accountemps payroll bookkeeping month end. Are you feeling short-staffed? Accountemps can provide accounting and finance professionals on a temporary or project basis when you need them to help with increased workloads. Call them today or visit Accountemps.com. Accountemps, a Robert Half company. 8:03 time for the AM 560 Business Beat from the Fox Business Network, a service of Turnkey.pro. Here's Ginny Casola.
From the Fox Business Network, Ford is planning to reveal 40 electric cars in the next 4 years. It's investing $11 billion, more than double its original plan. There will be 16 fully electric models and the rest will be plug-in hybrids. General Motors, Toyota, and Volkswagen have also outlined aggressive plans to expand electric vehicle production. Ford is planning a hybrid version of the popular F-150 truck, and Ford is planning to reveal an all-electric performance SUV by 2020 that will be called the Mach 1. If you want to stay where Saudi Arabia's accused elite were held, you can book again at the Ritz-Carlton in Riyadh. The Ritz's website is showing bookings are available again starting on Valentine's Day. The markets are closed for the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. holiday. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Ginny Cosola.
8:05 in Chicago. A check of traffic and weather on the Wade's next on AM 560.
Larry Elder has seen a great first year from the Trump administration.
For all the BMWing about how Donald Trump hasn't fulfilled in this position, that position, all of these positions that supposedly have been left unfilled throughout government.
You're telling me every single bureaucrat is necessary?
And we're seeing this all throughout government, as President Trump believes that we've got way too many federal workers doing way too many things that shouldn't be done by government in the first place.
The Larry Elder Show, weeknights at 7, right before Jay Sekulow at 9 on AM 560. The Answer.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
Do you have a family? Would you like to help make sure they'll be taken care of if anything were to happen to you? If you answered yes, you probably need life insurance. Now, do you think life insurance is expensive? If you answered yes to that too, you definitely need to give AIG Direct a call. We could find you a $250,000 policy for just $14 a month, which means you could save hundreds of dollars a year. Call us now for a free, no-obligation quote. 1-800-400-1902. Since 1995, we've helped millions of people find out if they could save up to 70% on their term life insurance. See how affordably we can help you protect your family. Call AIG Direct now for your free quote. 1-800-400-1902. You could save up to 70%. That's 1-800-400-1902. 1-800-400-1902.
All money managers may seem pretty much the same. But while some money managers may recommend high commission investment products, Fisher Investments avoids them. Some money managers may have hidden and layered fees. Fisher Investments never does. And while some money managers are happy to earn commissions from you, whether you do well or not, Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when you do better. In other words, we're structured to be on your side. Maybe that's why most of our clients come to us from other money managers. Talk with us and find out why so many experienced investors are switching to and staying with Fisher Investments. Fisher Investments, clearly better money management. Investments in securities involve the risk of loss. Visit us at FisherInvestments.com to find out what we can do for you.
It is 8:07. Few schools are closed or opening late, including Calvary Church School in Orland Park. City Baptist schools in Hammond are closed. Oswego Senior Center is closed, along with St. Joseph High in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Our friends at Judson University remind students today that they are open for classes. Let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. Southbound 55, it's jammed from near 355 to 53 with a crash in the left lane. Northbound heavy from 53 to that crash site. And on the Stevenson, it's 52 minutes from 355 to Lakeshore Drive and outbound 40. Eden's 22 minutes Lake Hook to the junction. Outbound 35 after a crash at Dempster. Kennedy looking at just 26 minutes right now. O'Hare to downtown. Outbound though 44. The Eisenhower 44 minutes 390 to the Circle and 24 from Manheim. Outbound 49 minutes 390. Ryan just 18 minutes from 95th to the Loop. Southbound Tri-State heavy 137 to 176. Northbound from the Reagan-Tillway to North Avenue. But Adams-Tollway still 59 to Higgins after a collision. Reagan-Tillway delays. The Aurora Toll to 59. Veterans Memorial, Butterfield to Roosevelt. Army Trail to 290. Then 53 has delays. Northbound 355 to Beesterfield. Southbound Northwest Highway to Kirchhoff and Higgins to Beesterfield after there was a crash. It's heavy on I-80 in both directions, especially well west of 355. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast with meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
A winter weather advisory in effect until noon. Bit of snow accumulating up to an additional inch, high 27. Couple of snow showers tonight. Storm total amount 2 to 4 inches, low 11. Occasional snow and flurries mainly later tomorrow, high 24. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
Currently 22 at O'Hare. Snow showers continue. Your next news update is at 8:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Kelly Financial Services, helping you secure your financial future today. Visit kellyfinancialservicesinc.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Moscow in flames, missiles headed toward New York. Film at 11.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Life imitating Kentucky Fried Movie in Hawaii over the weekend. This false alarm about a ballistic missile attack. Do you buy the official response? I want to hear some creative conspiracy theories at 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line.
What is your theory? I mean, everybody in Hawaii got the most unbelievably heart-stopping text message of their lives saying that an inbound missile is on its way. It was 38 minutes of sheer chaos. Some people got out of their cars, Dan, and abandoned them on the roadways, on the highways.
Yeah.
One man took his family and hid them under a manhole cover.
Well, yeah, you had parents putting their
insane.
children in storm drains, but that's where the killer clowns live.
Okay, stop it. I hate that movie.
You don't put the kids there. This is Governor Ige.
Ige? Well, I'm the name assassinator. So I was going to say Ige, but it's Ige?
Yeah, you're just making fun of his name.
No,
just
I'm
cop
not.
to it.
No, I'm not.
Cop to it. I'll have.
I'm not racist. I'm the most non-racist person you've ever interviewed.
I will get Senators Perdue and Cotton to corroborate my contention. Governor Ige on the false alarm.
Early this morning, an error was made and a false alarm was sent to cell phones and to TV and radio. We investigated, and as soon as we became aware that it was an error, we took action to send the notification that it was a false alarm. This should not have happened. We are investigating the sequence of events that occurred, An error was made in emergency management, which allowed this false alarm to be sent. It was a procedure that occurs at the change of shift where they go through to make sure that the system is working, and an employee pushed the wrong button.
He pushed the wrong button twice.
Well, yeah, because everyone thought, oh, it just happened once. But in order to activate that system for that alert to go out, it does have to be pressed twice. And Vern Miyagi is the emergency manager.
Mr. Miyagi did this?
Yeah, Mr.
Wax on, wax off?
Wax on, no, wax off. Wax off. Oh, see?
Oh, now you've done it. Oh, no.
Well, no, he did it, and he has
Al D'Amato impersonating Judge Ito.
He's not losing his job. He's just, being reassighed, and somebody else
of course he's not losing his job. He's a government employee in Hawaii.
Dear Lord.
It's my responsibility, so this would be my fault. The whole purpose of this is that the change of shift briefing is for each shift to understand what is the process. We'll take action to prevent this from ever happening again by having more than one person there to do this, make this decision, or work on equipment changes.
And then to prove that he still got the ability to do his job, he caught a fly with a pair of chopsticks.
Oh, stop it. I love how you called it a pocket dial.
Well, butt dial.
I mean, a butt dial.
Yeah, butt dial. Oh, yeah, but twice.
But
See, I pressed the button twice. Also, 35 minutes to
38
correct
minutes,
to correct the alert. So you know the alert is false because you inadvertently pressed the button twice. And then you call FEMA and you say, all right, well, we hey, by the way, we told everybody ballistic missiles are heading for the islands and they're all going to die. If somebody could get back to us to give us the okay to issue a correction that's a false alarm, that'd be swell. And it takes more than a half an hour.
But here's the thing. It went out to all the television stations and radio stations. So this happened around 8 a.m.
Well, that's the whole point of civil
Right, but I'm
defense,
saying-
to communicate an important message.
When the mistake, they realized it was a mistake. Do you know how easy it is to call a newsroom or the radio station and say, hey, no, this is an accident. Correct yourself. Because they're live on the air, the reporters, talking about this incoming ballistic missile, and people were scrambling. People didn't know what to do because there's only so much room in the bunkers. There's so much room in the storm
Wait, was
drains.
this Albania? What bunkers in Hawaii?
Some people in Hawaii built bunkers in their backyard. The doomsday preppers. There's a family that went straight into the bunker, and other people wanted to come into the bunker.
Jim Neighbors has passed on. There's no bunkers there.
They said, no, there's no room at the end. But people, they don't know where to go. So maybe this is a good mistake. This is a blessing in disguise because now maybe they can make some more bunkers. Because where are people supposed to go?
Bunkers?
Well, you hear that incoming
What the hell
missile.
are you talking about? I'll tell you, it's not bad enough we're polluting the landscape in Hawaii with windmills on the top of mountains and inert volcanoes. Let's throw some, mushroom-style bunkers like we're, a World War II communist-era country all around the. What are you talking? Bunkers.
Where are you supposed to go when you hear that this is coming?
You're not supposed to go anywhere because there's no ballistic missile attack and there isn't going to be one. That's where you're supposed to go. That's the whole point. And the other point about this is so classic government and classic 21st century America. Hey, I'm not allowed to problem solve. I can't think for myself. I can't correct this. I gotta wait for Joe over at FEMA Division 3 to give me the okay to tell people, hey, that alert about you being obliterated, that's not true. No.
People were calling loved ones saying their last goodbyes and in tears. If you see the video, it's heartbreaking.
Yeah. Another
it's
testament to
scary.
government competence.
Yeah, you're right.
Sean in Elmwood Park, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
I really like the bunker theory of selling bunkers. I think she may be onto something. Yeah. But listen, you asked for conspiracy theories. Here it is, Prof.
I knew I'd get one from you. Yeah.
They don't like, the Democrat Party doesn't like the level of concern of nuclear attack with North Korea. So the Democrat stronghold of Hawaii, after all, let's not forget what Hawaii is. It's a very corrupt Democrat hub. This is the one that produced the birth certificate and all that nonsense. Anyway, the conspiracy...
Okay. One conspiracy at a time.
The conspiracy is very, very simple. This is to put an accent on, listen, we are closer to nuclear war than ever, more so during the Soviet Union. Or, Prof, it's this. What exactly do you have to do to be fired from government? I mean, how bad does it have to be fired by government? And as far as civil defense, that's the part of the government where the rest of the government workers go, yeah, those guys are dumb. That's the special ed of government workers, is civil defense. Did you ever take a look at some of these buffoons driving around in their old police cars? Let's cut them all. 95% of all government employees, you're fired today.
All right,
Well, I mean,
Trump Jr., thanks
Yeah,
for the call, Sean.
I honestly cannot believe that worker was not fired for this mistake. It was
Hey.
just reassigned. Vern.
What's with the zero? So you would impose a zero tolerance policy on issuing false ballistic missile attack warnings?
I would. And the governor, real quick, he said this is unfortunate.
It's unfortunate and regrettable.
Yeah, I get it.
We will be looking at how we can improve the procedures so it doesn't happen again.
Yeah, they're putting 2 people instead of 1 on that shift.
Will in Evanston. Hey, Will, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, guys. I just wanted to remind you of a certain fire commissioner in Chicago who turned on the air raid sirens when the Chicago White Sox won the 59 pennant.
Yeah, but that was for the Go-Go
Did we
Sox.
talk about firing Robert Quinn?
That's the Go-Go Sox. That's an exception to the alarm the public rule. Thanks for the call, Will. That's a
Clear
good one.
abuse of power back then.
That's a
Come
good
on,
one.
Put on the air raid
The air
siren.
raid
Hey,
for
the White Sox won the World Series.
Hey, come on. That's a little hat tip to Louis Aparicio, Nellie Fox, and the boys. Jeff and Berwyn, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Greetings. This Hawaii fiasco is a great example of how all of these people that are wedded to their smartphones, like they're in their palm of their hand when they walk down the street, are so susceptible to disinformation. Okay? They have to be alerted to every little possible thing. And I'm telling you, there's so much disinformation and deep state manipulation going on that just get rid of your smartphone. Carry it in your back pocket, fine, if you need a phone call, but don't wet it into your hand like you're a zombie. And this Hawaii thing points it out. They are sheep.
Thanks for the call, Jeff. Appreciate it. Some texts. Was he waxing the wrong button, Mr. Miyagi?
Oh.
Yeah. The false.
His name is Miyagi. Vern Miyagi. Common spelling.
Sure. Yeah. All right.
Why does that sound
It's
racist?
it's kind of an insult to the legacy of Pat Morita. Let's see. Text from text from 708. The false alarmer was transferred to the IRS. That's why it took so long to get approval. That's good. North Korea hacked the text service. 708.
Oh.
847. Someone needs to get him a Staples Easy button to play with. Yeah. What took them so long? Were they on hold with IT? The conspiracy theories abound.
The more you listen, the more you'll know. This is Chicago's Morning Answer. Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Coming up next, Saturday Night Live. Funny or not funny? I don't know, but it was clever. First, here's your forecast. Colder. We have some light snow still falling, anywhere from 2 to 4 inches before it's all said and done. It is slippery out there. It's cold, a high of 27. A couple of snow showers tonight, anywhere from a dusting to 2 inches. And then tomorrow it's going to be cloudy, very cold, with occasional snow and flurries, mainly later, a high of 24, just a few gray days. But let's now get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, where he's very busy this morning. Here's Jim Telemonte.
It's been a little messier than we'd like, Amy, on the expressways and tollways. Southbound I-55 is jammed from near 355 to 53 with a crash in the left lane. Northbound heavy in that area as well. Then once you get to 355 on the northbound side, it's 52 minutes from there to Lakeshore Drive and outbound 40. Eden's 22 minutes, Lake Oak to Montrose, outbound 38 to Kennedy. It's 22 minutes right now, O'Hare to downtown. Can that be right? Outbound 44 minutes. The Eisenhower, 33 minutes from 390 to the Circle, but outbound 49. Ryan is 18 minutes, 95th to downtown. Southbound Tri-State, stop and go 137 to 176. Northbound from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. Eastbound Adams Tollway heavy, 25 to Beverly with a crash in the right lane. also slow past 59. Reagan Tollway delays from the Aurora Toll to 59. Veterans Memorial, Butterfield to Roosevelt, and Army Trail to 290. Southbound 53 is heavy Northwest Highway to Kirchhoff. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Flu season, as it's here, you know how to protect yourself against colds and the flu and viruses, but do you know how to protect your computer network? Ransomware, viruses, hacks, intrusions can stop your company's computer network in an instant. Is your network safe and protected? Can your data be restored easily? If not, you need to do what I did and call Turnkey IT today. Turnkey IT provides frontline security for your network and its data. So if there is an email attachment opened in error or network intruder, Turnkey IT immediately knows and fixes the situations. They'll arm your network with cutting-edge antivirus, disaster recovery, and proactive monitoring software to stop virus outbreaks before they have a chance to spread. Over the phone or in person, Turnkey IT is your network safeguard against this season's worst bugs. See what a dose of Turnkey's proactive support can do for you. It's easy. Visit turnkey.pro. That's turnkey.pro.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I'm Mark Gastineau. I played in the NFL for 10 years. I was diagnosed with CTE, with dementia, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's. The fruits and vegetables that we take from Balance of Nature is the best thing that we could ever do. And I'm calling in now to order extra because of my wife has been taking mine because she sees a difference in me. It is a wonderful thing that Balance of Nature is doing. I hear the testimonies on the radio, but I'm a testimony for myself. And the fruits and vegetables, if I don't take them every single day, my day is not going to go the same. So God bless you, and thank you for what you've done for my wife and I.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Sheet metal is a big part of commercial and industrial facilities. Look around your business and you'll quickly notice how many components use sheet metal. From fan systems and hoods to machinery guards and much more. For top quality sheet metal work, get to know the pros at Vans Industrial.
Hi, I'm Dave Van Camp, owner of Vans Industrial. Vans Industrial is an industrial sheet metal contractor that can fabricate all types of alloys up to 1-inch plate. We perform jobs including chutes, hoppers, stacks, siding, and dust collection. We work in material handling facilities including steel, chemical, agricultural, food processing plants, and more. Vans Industrial can also design and perform the engineering for a complete turnkey installation. Our quality work is installed by trained mechanics who will work closely with you to make sure the job is done right.
Call 833-VANS-IND for a free inspection of your facility. Interested in what else they do? Visit vansindustrial.com. That's VANS Industrial.com. Quality craftsmanship since 1964.
Get up and go. It's Apple Vacation's great winter event. Non-stop fun, adventure, sun-soaked beaches. Escape to your favorite tropical destination. It's all available now. Save hundreds. But hurry, the best hotels and prices won't last. 3 nights in Riviera Nayarit at Grand Palladium Vallarta Resort and Spa start from only $7.99. Or make it 7 nights at Rio Jalisco, starting from just $9.99. Both escapes include round-trip nonstop air, resort transfers, all meals, drinks, and taxes. Call Carry Travel Express at 847-639-3300 or visit carrytravelexpress.com to book your trip today. Prices per person based on double occupancy for select exclusive vacation flights from O'Hare to Puerto Vallarta on Frontier Airlines starting February 2nd and include taxes and fees including September 11th security fee. Some flights are operated by other airlines. Baggage charges apply. See applevacations.com. Prices subject to availability and change. Restrictions apply.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy. All right, so SNL did a cold open spoofing Morning Joe with Michael Wolff and Steve Bannon.
And Bill Murray was Steve Bannon. And that part wasn't that funny.
And Fred Armisen as Michael Wolff, who
that was good.
Great. And the Catherine McKinnon who plays Mika, and I don't know the dude's name that plays Joe, they're hilarious. They're really good. This was on the alleged Trump comment about S-hole countries.
President Trump is at it again. He's using a deeply offensive word when describing Haiti and some African countries. Joining me to break this down is Chair for the Center for African American Studies at Princeton, Eddie Glaude. Eddie, this is a blatant example of inflammatory racist language. Why don't GOP leaders condemn this immediately?
Well, first,
because Eddie, you've studied this stuff extensively, okay? I mean, can you imagine any other president making comments like this? What's your take?
I mean,
this is not the first time that he said something like this. Is this a surprise given his comments in the past? He's talking about Haitians, he's talking about Africans, and the question is this: when will they get to speak? When is it their turn? How long will they be silenced?
I personally...
Eddie Glaude, great points. Thanks for joining us.
Fantastic. I don't watch that idiotic show, so I don't know if that's true about them just pontificating, even with a guest in their presence. But it was funny nonetheless.
It was good.
And then they flipped over to Armisen as Michael Wolff.
Oh, it's good.
This is good.
This book is wild. The conversations are so intimate.
It's depressing. I'm depressed.
Yeah.
It's amazing what you found. You say the president watches TV most of the day. He eats McDonald's because he's afraid of being poisoned. Is there anything that you didn't include?
Well, sure. Probably the worst one is the baby races.
What? Beg your pardon?
They were baby races. Trump would ask to have 2 babies placed in his office, usually of different ethnicities. Someone would put a bowl of goldfish crackers on the other side of the room, and Trump would say $1,000 on the black one.
Is that real?
Yeah.
Sure. And on Michael Wolff's, the many errors in Michael Wolff's book.
Now, Michael, there's been several errors pointed out in this book already. Do you take responsibility for those?
Look, you read it, right?
Yeah, of course.
And you liked it? You had fun?
Yeah.
Well, what's the problem? You got the gist, so shut up. You know, even the stuff that's not true, it's true.
Fantastic. That was really good. And then, as you mentioned, Bill Murray comes on as Steve Bannon.
Did you blog that?
Yeah,
You're such a good blogger, Dad.
He reveals. What are you doing now, Steve?
And I'm also coming out with a new line of wrinkled barn jackets called Frumpers for Guys. Springtime skincare line.
Blotch. Skincare line. But Bannon's going to be back, says Bill Murray as Bannon.
I convinced this country to elect Donald. And I can do it again. Already auditioning candidates, got some prospects. Logan Paul, Martin Shkreli, the subway guy, Jared Fogle. He's back, he's electable. It's time for America to slide down the banister. Okay.
You know, Steve, I have to admit it, you did something amazing. You took the biggest long shot in history and you got him elected president. And you unleashed this monster of biblical proportions upon the universe.
Michael Wolff, it's the sweetest thing anyone ever said to me. Thank you.
All right, coming up, we'll talk of dossiers and disinformation with famed Harvard Law professor Alan Dershowitz. That's at 8:38.
But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
Amy and Dan, good morning. 21 degrees. Snow beginning to taper off. Some spots have seen over 4 inches out in LaSalle and Streeter, up to 6 inches of snow. President Trump says he's not a racist, following a report that he made some profane remarks when talking about immigrants from Haiti, El Salvador, and some countries in Africa. Trump is said to have made those comments last week during a bipartisan meeting on immigration. Senator Tom Cotton was at that meeting and is joining many others in saying he did not hear the president make disparaging remarks regarding Haitians and immigrants during that White House meeting.
The president reacted with pretty tough language, as he said, because we want to move to a system that treats people for who they are, not where they're from.
The Arkansas Republican on CBS's Face the Nation. A ferry boat fire off the Florida Gulf Coast, leaving 1 dead and about 50 others recovering after managing to escape safely. They were being shuttled to a casino ship yesterday afternoon when that fire broke out. Pope Francis is taking a trip to Latin America, the Pope leaving the Vatican today on a 7-day visit to Chile and Peru. Authorities are searching for a person of interest Following a deadly shooting over the weekend outside of a shopping mall in North Riverside, police say Maria Ruiz and another girl were shot Saturday night inside of a parking lot at the North Riverside Park Mall. One person hurt following a house fire on Chicago's South Side. The blaze breaking out yesterday inside of a home on South Elizabeth. Suburban Chicago Community College is receiving a federal grant worth nearly $1 million to set up a job training center in 2 semi-tractor trailer trucks. The Daily Southtown reporting that Prairie State College will use the mobile training centers and outfit them with welding equipment and machining skills. Officials say the school will then provide training at area manufacturing businesses and in communities where jobs and access to training are scarce. The Bulls welcome the Red Hot Heat to the UC this afternoon. It's a Martin Luther King Day matinee. Red Wings beat the Blackhawks 4-0. And the news is a service of Indeed.com. Indeed, used by over 3 million businesses for hiring, where business owners and HR pros can post job openings with screener questions, then sort, review, and communicate with candidates from an online dashboard. Learn more at Indeed.com/hire. 8:33 is our time. We'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher wants to bring you a different kind of show.
There are plenty of hosts. There are plenty of writers. There are plenty of pundits. There are plenty of congressmen. There are plenty of people who criticize Donald Trump every minute of every hour of every day, and I don't do that on this show. I want you to come here and have a different experience.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Ready for a bad cold and flu season? A cold is a cold, but flu brings fever. Be prepared with the Exogen Temporal Scanner Thermometer backed by medical professionals everywhere.
Roof is needy?
Call Grumweedy.
630-595-8020.
Roof is leaky?
Call Grumweedy.
630-595-8020.
Shingles are curly?
Call Grumweedy.
630-595-8020.
Roof isn't right after it's stormy?
Call Grumweedy.
630-595-8020.
Here comes winter. This is Mark Olson.
And Greg Olson of Crumweedy.
Since 1953, the roof guys for your home and business.
We fix roof problems. Hate the high pressure?
Not from us.
We give you multiple options. Then you choose.
A roof that lasts at a fair price.
We fix roof problems.
When your roof is needy,
call Grumweedy.
How about the number?
630-595-8020. 630-595-8020.
Call us. We make sure your warranty is in place. Crumweedy, 630...
Wait. Just remember, myroofisneedy.com.
8:34 and a check of the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. The Edens is 22 minutes from Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 38. The Kennedy inbound, I believe, 20 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, outbound 13 minutes to Montrose, 44 to the airport. There are flight cancellations, over 70 now at O'Hare and about 38 at Midway. Eisenhower, 33 minutes either way between 390 and the Burns Circle. Stevenson, 52 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 51. There's a crash at 53 in the left lane. The Ryan is clear, so is I-57, so is the Bishop Ford. Northbound Tri-State heavy from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. But Adams Tollway heavy 59 to Roselle. Reagan Tollway, Blazer westbound now, Midwest to past Myers. Northbound Veterans Memorial, stop and go, Army Trail to 290. Southbound 53 from Northwest Highway to Kirchhoff. Eastbound I-80, delays from Veterans Memorial Tollway to Maple. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast with meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
A winter weather advisory in effect until noon today. Cold with a thick cloud cover and a bit of snow, accumulating up to an additional inch. Untreated surfaces will be slippery. High today 27. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
Currently we have 21 degrees. Your next news comes up at 9 and more. Dan and Amy is next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is sponsored by Wine Time Radio. Every Saturday at 10 p.m. on AM 560, explore the wonderful world of wine with hosts James Crooker and Rob Lehner.
When you've got questions, he always has an answer. It's Sean Hannity, this afternoon at 2, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. And so, I mean, just when you think the dossier Russian collusion story / investigation can't get more bizarre, Moby.
Yeah, who's Moby? Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah, Moby. You don't know me. You're too
You
old.
don't
It's
know
over.
me.
Nobody listens to techno. Moby saying CIA agents asked him to spread the word about Trump and Russia. Moby, this, techno artist, said active and former CIA agents truly concerned about Trump's collusion with Russia enlisted Moby to spread the word because, according to him, they said to him, CIA agents, look, you have more of a social media following than any of us do, because we're CIA agents, so we operate below the fold. Can you please post some of these things just in a way that sort of put it out there? It's really disturbing, and it's going to get a lot darker, said Moby. The depths of the Trump family in business, their involvement with organized crime, sponsored terrorism, Russian oligarchs, it's really dark. I guess we should all, fasten our seatbelts and hold on. Well, there you go. Once you've lost Moby, you've lost the nation. This story just gets more and more remarkable, including
Like a soap opera script.
last week with the release of Glenn Simpson from Fusion GPS, his testimony, which DiFi thought was exculpatory in some way, and nothing could be further from the truth. Excellent piece by Holman Jenkins in the Wall Street Journal over the weekend, a former colleague of Glenn Simpson's, both at Insight Magazine and the Wall Street Journal, where Simpson basically says, look, Simpson took on faith that Christopher Steele, the former British spy that he hired to do the background investigation into Trump, was not being fed misinformation by the Russians, among other things that he took on faith. It seems to be this recurring narrative, of we want to take this guy down, so we're going to suspend disbelief about whatever information we get that's negative. And also, there seems to be a suspension of disbelief about things like the 25th Amendment and the Goldwater Rule and a whole host of things in the left's pursuit to remove Trump from office. For more on this topic, we're pleased to be joined again by Alan Dershowitz, of course, famed Harvard law professor, author of the new book, Trumped Up, How Criminalization of Political Differences Endangers Democracy. Professor Dershowitz, thanks for joining us again. Appreciate it.
Hey, it's my pleasure. With these reports about Moby and other things, my suggestion made on day one begins to look better and better every day. I had suggested no special counsel be appointed because special counsels operate behind closed doors, there's leaks, and I suggested the appointment of a nonpartisan commission like the 911 Commission looking into what efforts Russia has made to try to destabilize America and try to influence Americans on elections on both sides. Not a partisan inquiry, not a let's get Trump or let's lock her up inquiry, but an inquiry to find out the truth, because all Americans should be concerned if Russia is trying to influence elections or if there are other inappropriate activities going on. And what we want is transparency and openness and a nonpartisan search for truth, instead of both parties trying to take advantage of this against their political opponents.
So, Mr. Dershowitz, what have you learned so far about this Russian investigation?
Very, very little, because as I predicted, it's behind closed doors, and we've learned very little, and that's for one of two reasons. Number one, because there is nothing to learn. There has been no overt collusion. Second, of course, collusion is not a crime. So even if the prosecutor determines that there was some degree of collusion or cooperation, that's not his business. His business is not to reveal what happened. His business is to discover evidence of crime. And so I haven't learned very much, and I don't think the American public has learned very much. I think this has been largely a waste of resources and money and a diversion away from, if you don't like what Trump's doing, vote against him, campaign against him, write op-eds against him, but Stop with this lock him up, the 25th Amendment. He's diagnosed this way, diagnosed the other way. I would be saying the same thing, by the way, if Hillary had been elected, and the Republicans were trying to lock her up and trying to diagnose her. We have to move away from this politics of criminalization and pathologization and psychiatrization, and get back to, if you don't like somebody, vote against them.
Yeah, I think psychiatize, that word that you've coined, I think that's the early leader in the clubhouse for Webster's word of 2018, because we have seemed to move from criminalization, because they don't appear to have nothing that they've leveled up for public scrutiny, from criminalization to psychiatization of political differences, as you said on Hannity last week.
And that's dangerous, because that's what the Russians did to dissidents. I represented some of them in the 1970s. That's what China tried to do with dissidents. That's what apartheid South Africa did. They tried to say that anybody who opposed apartheid must be mentally ill, and they had to be sent to moral rehabilitation centers. We just don't want to go down that road where we give psychiatrists like that professor at Yale the power to decide who's going to be president by imposing diagnoses on them. That's just so undemocratic.
Well, I do think some Democrats should get a grip. I mean, and stop saying that Trump should be impeached for saying the blank hole word when he was describing people from certain countries.
Well, impeachment, I'm writing an article about that now. I believe impeachment is reserved for high crimes and misdemeanors that are political in nature and that affect the national interest. And I don't think we should be also broadening the concept of what constitutes an impeachable offense beyond the words of the Constitution, which says bribery, treason, high crimes and misdemeanors. That's a debatable issue, and reasonable people could take both sides of that. But right now, there's no possibility of impeachment. So why are people wasting energy and resources on constitutional issues that won't come to fruition? Impeachment and the 25th Amendment. It's not going to happen. Look, if there were to be a very, very different outcome in the 2018 midterm elections, who knows? We've seen impeachment misused. The impeachment of Bill Clinton, I think, was a misuse of impeachment. I think the impeachment of Andrew Johnson, going back to the 1860s, was a misuse. I think the only time impeachment was ever properly used in the United States was against Richard Nixon, and it never came to fruition because he resigned.
What about the lasting impact this may have with respect to law enforcement agencies that, of course, we want to have the confidence of and we want to be confident in them? I'm talking about Department of Justice and FBI, with all of these conflicts of interest that have been unearthed with FBI agents and senior level leadership officials at the Department of Justice. Do you worry that those institutions are going to be irreparably harmed in terms of their standing in the American public's mind?
I don't think irreparably, but I think they're going to be harmed. I think that the people who have strong views like the FBI agent and who express them in messages and tweets should have recused himself. He should have been smart enough to say, look, I can't be unbiased here. I have very strong views. I want to see this guy out of office, and I can't separate out my law enforcement from my political views, so I'm going to recuse myself from the case. I don't believe that Mueller or Comey are partisan. I don't think they care whether they're helping the Democrats or Republicans, but some people think they're overzealous prosecutors. I've had experience with both of them, and they're very, very tough prosecutors, but I don't think they're partisan. I do think that Mueller made a serious mistake in how he staffed the investigation. When you're going after the president or people close to the president, you have to be above reproach, and you have to pick people who have no possibility of being perceived as being biased one way or another, and I think he did not pass that test.
Well, and with respect to Comey, you can maybe be post-partisan but still very political for your own interests, and it seems to me that's the problem with Comey, from leaking information to a Columbia professor that he wanted to get onto the public arena, to the kind of bootstrapping an argument to absolve Hillary. The back and forth throughout the 2016 campaign didn't inspire much confidence in Comey from either side.
I agree with that. I think he was looking to preserve his own reputation, and he failed. And I think the idea of leaking material through a Columbia professor, A, is so amateurish, and B, so not what the head of the FBI should do. The FBI's job is to stop leaks, not to engage in them. and he projects a terrible role model to lower-level FBI agents when he himself leaks the information. If he wanted to get it out in the public, he should have had the courage to stand in front of TV cameras and say, I think there ought to be a special counsel appointed. Here's what I've seen. Here's what I have. And listen to me. But the idea of leaking it through a professor and the idea that the professor would play that role. I mean, I was a professor for 50 years. I can't imagine getting a call from the former head of the FBI and accepting the role of leaker and essentially laundering material through a professor. It's just not the right thing to have done. I'm waiting to hear from the professor and waiting to hear his explanation of why he did it.
Oh, I know. And Comey, he just said it as if it was no big deal during that hearing. Like, well, I gave the information to a former professor. And so what's the future for Comey? What's he going to, do you think he'll have a second show?
Well, I think he will not be well remembered by history. And I think he had a very good reputation before this. Look, these are hard jobs. Ken Starr, who was a phenomenal guy, would have been on the Supreme Court of the United States had he not taken on the impeachment or the special investigation of President Clinton. And, you know, he ended up not being on the Supreme Court because when you take on this role, half of America immediately hates you. And you have to do it right, and it's a very, very hard role to perform because it's partly political, legal, constitutional, and first of all, it shouldn't exist. I don't believe in special counsel, special prosecutors. I think they violate the spirit of the separation of powers and the role of the president as head of the executive branch. So there's an institutional problem in appointing special counsel. Most countries don't have to do it because they separate the prosecution function from the political function right from the beginning, but we don't do that. We have the Department of Justice, which performs both functions.
Well, Ken Starr got that Baylor president job as consolation, so at least he made more cash than he would have at the Supreme Court, so that's not bad.
Well, he'd been happier in the Supreme Court.
Yeah,
he was
I
a good justice, I think.
A little bump in the resume.
Alan Dershowitz, famed Harvard law professor and author of the book, Trumped Up, How Criminalization of Political Differences Endangers Democracy. Professor Dershowitz, thanks as always for joining us. Appreciate it.
Always a pleasure. Thank you.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Before you see it on TV, share it on Facebook, or read about it in the paper. Hear it here first. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Coming up next, the couple that packed their pussycat. Dan will explain, but first, it doesn't go on and fit in the overhead bin either. Forecast for today, colder, a bit of snow. We're going to have a snow advisory watch in effect until noon today. There's snowflakes are kind of tapering off right now, so that's good. But tonight we have a new round of snow showers, anywhere from 2 to 4 inches. And then tomorrow, cloudy, very cold, snow and flurries, mainly in the afternoon, a high of 24 degrees. Let's get into our Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Amy. Thanks, Dan. Our producers are telling me it's true. The Kennedy right now is 20 minutes. O'Hare to downtown seems impossible. That would be free of any significant delays right now. Keep an eye on that. On the outbound side, there are delays from Montrose to O'Hare. It's about 38 minutes from downtown to the airport. Eden's 19 minutes, Lake Cook to the junction, outbound 32. The Eisenhower, fine as well, 29 minutes, 390 to downtown, outbound 33. Stevenson, 52 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 51. Got a crash at 53 in the left lane. The Ryan is clear. The tollways have cleared up for the most part. Still some delays on the eastbound Adams Tollway, 59 to Roselle. And the Veterans Memorial northbound, it's slow. Army Trail to 290. Northwest Indiana looks fine. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
I got a great night's sleep last night, all thanks to MyPillow. I can form the patented fill to my neck and back to give me the best sleep ever. Really can't sleep without it. When it gets dirty, I just throw it in the washer and dryer. No need to take it to the dry cleaners. And it's made in America. And there's a 10-year warranty, 60-day money-back guarantee. And right now we have still the buy one, get one free offer only if you go to MyPillow.com and type Amy, A-M-Y, and that promo code 2 MyPillows for the price of one. We've extended it until January 31st. So remember, MyPillow.com, promo code Amy to get the best deal available. MyPillow.com or call 800-489-0700. 0201.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
My blood pressure significantly is so low now compared to what it was. I think I'm doing great with it.
That's one thing I like about Balance of Nature. Y'all listen, you talk and communicate, and not just give us your order. We're done. Bye. You know, it to me it makes more. I want to say kind of a family-oriented business. That we're out here for you, and we're part of your extended family, trying to fill you in, rather than just take your money.
I feel great. A lot of the aches and pains I have the arthritis in my hand seems to have dissipated most of the time, and I feel wonderful.
Have the confidence that you're giving your body what it needs. Call now to receive 35% off your first Balance of Nature order. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code CHICAGO.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Jerry Kerrigan, one of the owners of FJ Kerrigan Plumbing Company, a third-generation family-run business. Our trusted longtime accountant referred us to Signature Bank, and we've never been happier. On one of our first meetings, Signature Bank CEO Mick O'Rourke said, "You worry about running the business, and we'll take care of everything else." Since that initial meeting, Signature Bank has lived up to every promise they've made. The decision-making is local, the staff is consistent, and the service is outstanding. FJ Kerrigan Plumbing understands the value of long-term customer relationships, and we plan to be a customer of Signature Bank for a long time to come.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Message and data rates may apply.
Guys, this may be the last time you ever have to think about hair loss. Because I'm telling you, Bosley is the real deal. They're giving men their hair back permanently. Their real hair. All it takes to get started on the hair gain train is a single text message. We'll send you a link with direct access to a special website that unlocks an incredible offer. An absolutely free information kit and a free gift card. Simply text STRONG to 85850. Bosley will show you for free how great your hair could look. Dude, this isn't your dad's hair loss treatment. People all over the country trust Bosley because they're America's #1 hair restoration expert, ahead of the curve with the latest technology. And the best part, Bosley's solution is permanent. Drop what you're doing, get direct access to a special site for your free information kit and gift card for $250 off by texting STRONG to 85850. That's STRONG to 85850.
Year after every new year, you make the same resolutions for yourself, hoping that one of these times they just might stick. You know, the whole new year, new you thing. You're gonna lose weight, quit smoking, eat better, find the love of your life. Well, best of luck to you. How about a resolution that can really happen? One for your business's computer and IT network. It's a goal that can be accomplished and realized instantly with the help of Turnkey IT. 2018 is poised for growth. You can't afford to let your business become sidetracked by poor IT assistance or dated computer hardware or software. Remember, in the changing world of IT, what you upgraded a few years ago may not cut it in the new year. One of the biggest parts of your business infrastructure is your IT network. And if that's not right, the impact can cost you a lot of money. Make your resolution today. Be ready to handle the growth expected in 2018 with your business backbone supported by Turnkey IT.
Leave the technical stuff to the pros so you can focus on the important things. Visit turnkey.pro today. Turnkey.pro.
Hi, Amy Jacobson here, and I'm excited to tell our listeners that own or manage companies about a company you likely haven't heard of. I know that sounds strange, but with over 30 years in business, they've never had to advertise. They're that good. Anion Blinds is a local company that shares our values and have been selling and installing blinds, rolling shades, shutters, and motorized window treatments to area businesses for over 3 decades. And every review is positive. You'll be amazed how cost-effective it is working with experts who can recommend the right products, install them, and guarantee all their work. From property managers and Fortune 500 companies in need of replacement window treatments to startups in the decoration phase, Anion Blinds does everything right. Call competitively priced Anion Blinds today for your window treatment consultation at 630-662-1621 or visit AnionBlinds.com. That's ANION Blinds.com.
Building owners and managers. When it comes to maintaining the value of your commercial, industrial, or institutional building, there will be roof repairs or replacements for you to deal with. When you're looking for a good roofing contractor, search the ChicagoRoofing.org website for Chicagoland's best roofing contractors for repairs, replacements, or new construction. And you can check out their innovative roofing work also. All contractors at ChicagoRoofing.org proudly employ members of Roofers Union Local 11 who have undergone 5 years of rigorous training at the country's leading school for roofing, the Chicagoland Roofers Joint Apprenticeship Training Center. ChicagoRoofing.org contractors are at the top of their game and provide Chicagoland's best value for the best roofs all year long. Building owners and managers, you will have roof repairs or replacements to deal with. It's inevitable. Go to ChicagoRoofing.org. That's ChicagoRoofing.org.
AM 560, The Answer.
All right, this story is very disturbing.
Comes to us from New York.
I'm going to get them.
Yeah, TSA, TSA officer found a kitten, a cat, packed inside checked luggage at Pennsylvania's Erie International Airport.
I'm going to get them. What's their name? Where do they live?
The cat's name is Slim. Glad you asked.
Is it really? Is the cat still alive?
He was curled up in a pile of clothes inside the bag.
Oh, my gosh. Stop.
TSA posted on Instagram, while this could have been dangerous to the 6-month-old cat, Slim is just fine and is currently residing under the care of the Humane Society of Northwestern Pennsylvania. He's certainly doing better than Kit Kat.
Oh, seriously, that's too soon.
I mean, do you think
it's been a week and a day since I had to put her down.
Do you think you have standing to comment on this case after you carried out a drug kingpin style execution on your cat?
She wouldn't go down. I'm like, Michael Jackson her already, please.
Wow.
That's what she sounded like when they're putting her down.
Actual audio.
It was just awful. I think that's rude. I think it's way too soon to be joking around about my beloved Kit Kat.
Do you worry about like a pet cemetery thing happening to you?
Stop it. That she's going to come and get me in the middle of the night and gouge my eyes out?
Just asking.
Do you know that has happened? If a person dies, a cat will begin eating them within 48 hours. That's disgusting.
Well, hey.
By the way, the couple.
Nobody's there to feed them.
What was their? They really thought they could check the kitten. Did they know it's 55 degrees, minus 55 degrees in a plane in cargo area?
Well, I don't know about that. I mean, you can transport pets in like cages.
Yeah, all they had to do was pay $100 and get a little, little like a duffel bag carry-on case and put it under the seat in front of them.
Oh, you can put it on the seat in front of you.
Oh yeah. I've transported many cats.
Well, the seat, the bag. I mean,
it costs money, so
Maybe it was accidental. Maybe he just got jumped into the suitcase when they weren't looking. That's why you always have to keep your bag in front of you. Don't let anyone else or any other animal touch your stuff.
Thanks so much for making this part of your morning. Thanks to Justin Kosick, our technical director, our associate producer, Quinn McCarthy, and our executive producer, Keith Conrad. We're back here tomorrow morning, 5 a.m. Now here is Mike Scott.
Snow showers causing slippery roads. Bulls hosting the Heat. WIND Chicago News Time, 9 o'clock.